Okay. Did that do it? Are we good? I think we are. Okay, we are officially live. Hello everyone, it's your favorite programming error that just refuses to be fixed, Code here. Now, some of you might be concerned, Code, hey Code, I can't hear the game, why is it so quiet? Don't worry, it's because there is no sound yet, because we're not even at the title screen. We're not even at the title screen yet, we're still on the intro part of it. And this is gonna be fun, because it's finally gonna be a longer DDLC mod. Now, I was told this would take probably about 8-ish hours to complete. So we're in for a few streams on this one at least. And I am pretty excited to get going. Especially, 8-hour estimation, and then you also have to count in the chat interference that's gonna happen. So we'll see how long this actually ends up taking. But we can guarantee it'll take at least 3 streams. Probably more likely to take 4 if we're being honest here. Probably more likely to take 4 streams. Now with that out of the way, let me just double check to make sure the notification got sent out. Yes, it did indeed. In which case, I could stall here, but you already know that there's gonna be content warnings and stuff. Hippity hoppity, I came for your... What? What? Rob? Rob? Okay, I see how it is, but you're not getting it. Anyway, welcome to the stream. I thought you came because DDLC. I thought you came just because DDLC. Well, anyway. Let me just actually click into the game real quick here. This is a Doki Doki Literature Club fan game that is not affiliated with Team Salvado, as everyone should probably already be aware of. Also DDLC. DDLC is fun. DDLC is live. DDLC is yes, I know. It is designed to be played only after the official game has been completed. You can download Doki Doki Literature Club right here. You can also type !game in the chat and also get a download link to Doki Doki Literature Club. But I feel like everyone who's currently here has already played it, because everyone who's currently here is just Rob. Just Rob. Just Rob. Just Rob. Also, please be advised that this mod has intentionally disturbing content, so discretion is advised. Yes. That is something I read about this mod as well. This is gonna be a darker one, okay? I hope you're all prepared for a little bit more of a dark mod. Also, it's gonna focus heavily on Yuri, as you might be able to tell from the screen right now. But yeah, pretty dark, so not for the faint of heart. Like, seriously. Just no. Also, I have enough. Hello, welcome to the stream. So yeah, discretion is advised. For a full list of content warnings, see the downloadnotes.txt file that came with the mod. Do you want to see the content warnings? Genuine question, do you want to see the content warnings? Because I can give you the content warnings if you want. This mod is intentionally disturbing. Heed all content warnings. Doki Doki Storm. We don't... you want to be surprised by the dark turns. We saw worse. Well, if you say so. If you say so. I'm sure. That we finally made it to the title screen. I hope the audio levels are fine. They should be. Now then. Ready? You think you played this? Oh, intriguing, intriguing. Well, I can say one thing. This mod was actually recommended to me by the author. So, naturally, I'm not going into this with any bias, but judging by the previous 2 mods we have played from him, I'm guessing this is also gonna be amazing. But again, the previous 2 mods we played that were made by him were a little bit more intended, to be funny. They were definitely made more about the funnies. While this one is gonna be a really dark one. But if he's just as good as writing dark stories as he is at, writing the funnies, then I'm sure it's gonna be amazing. What type of connections do you have? What do you mean, what kind of connections do I have? I don't know what you're talking about. Now then. Let's just hit the new game button. Please enter his name. Well, you already know what his name is. It's your boy, Code. Act 1. Recommendation from a creator of a mod? Yeah. So? It's Tuesday. Actually, not quite accurate. It's Monday, but... his name's Baka. Hey. He just... the first... it was Sayori Says No to Suicide. So both Sayori Says No to Suicide and the Yuri's New Toy, both those mods were made by him. He actually commented on the archive upload of Sayori Says No to Suicide, and that's when he told me about these other 2 mods that he did. And so I said, you know what? When I'm in the mood for more DDLC, I'll go ahead and play those. And yeah, the Yuri's New Toy one was just a little short, little funny. But this is gonna take a few streams to get through. I made a chat member SBF. Chat member SBF. Was that the thing you sent? Hang on. Because I did realize there was BF with a different color scheme, but I'm not sure which chat member it would have been. Intriguing. Is Tuesday or Wednesday after Monday? Is that a genuine question? Anyway, it's Tuesday, my dudes. Oh wait, I think we're actually playing as Yuri. It's Tuesday. I sit in my classroom seat, pretending to look over my school notes. It's as hard to focus on the class as it always is for me. Really, all I can think of is how much I'm looking forward to escaping to my safe haven. Wednesday is the middle of the week. So Tuesday is the 2nd. After the Monday, it is the Tuesday. And then comes the Wednesday. Understandable. Okay. Literature club. Well, actually, it's not true to say it's all I'm thinking of. But if I tried to list everything I'm thinking of, it could fill a novel. My back is hurting again. I should sit up straight though. This is definitely a Yuri thing. Yeah. I wonder why her back is hurting. How could this be? So in 54 minutes the mod will be accurate? Yeah, if we're still on the same day by then. 2 hints. Purple color has a girlfriend. If we're talking about people who have girlfriends, could it be Fastback? Could it be Fastback? Maybe. Iron Loss? Yeah, that's totally. Am I spending too much time looking at my notes? Should I look at the teacher more? Should I at least pretend to take notes? I have my pen in hand, but I am not doing anything with it. Does that look weird? That ever-present question in my mind, do I look weird? It's probably not normal to be wondering about these things. Normal people would probably be thinking of normal things, like the festival coming up next week. I noticed that I'm fidgeting with my pen. No, stop that. That looks weird. Don't play with the pen. I grip my notes to try to help me focus. No, I'm gripping my notes too hard. They're crumbling. Don't do that. Panic rushes through me. Did anyone see me do that? I wish people would stop staring at me. I keep catching them when they think I don't see. They must think I'm weird. They must hate me. That's why they're staring. Also, the text box changed color, by the way. The second the music cut out and the heartbeats... I cannot talk today, which is bad for a visual novel, but the second the music cut out and the heartbeat came in, the text box changed color to the generic pink that we're used to, interestingly enough. Doesn't study math also mean it does equations in my mind that most of the class have to type on... Type out on paper. I don't even like math. Math can be annoying. Very annoying. Very, very annoying.
They must think I'm weird. They must hate me. That's why they're staring. The storm is rising.
Hey, it's the title.
The storm is rising, filling my mind with its intensity, making me anxious, making it harder to control my breathing. I have to act normal. I have to act normal. Don't be weird. Act normal. I know I should stop thinking about it, but I can't. I wish I could just shut off my brain. As casually as possible, I reach down for my bag on the floor next to my seat. I cautiously open it, being careful to make sure no one can see what I'm looking at. Somehow, seeing my knife in there helps me breathe a little more easily.
I had a feeling it was gonna be a knife. And, I mean, yeah. She brings a different one to school every day, almost like she has a collection or something, as Monica put it. Ain't that a funny thing? Math can be annoying. Math on the other... No, don't. Didn't Debbie also fit the description? I think so, yeah. You remember the tsundere GF. How could we not remember the tsundere GF? We have to remember the tsundere. It's kind of sad that we don't see Fastback as often anymore. Probably because busy happens. I do remember he came back at one point with a new account because his old account got deleted.
Urination,
there it is.
Urination.
I was waiting for that. I was like, is text-to-speech not gonna do anything? No, it's doing it. Okay, you can shut up. You can shut up. That's enough. That's it. Thank you for stopping. Okay.
Somehow seeing my knife in there helps me breathe a little more easily. I brought the green one today, the color of nature, of peace, of serenity. I take a moment to admire the leafy pattern on the handle. It's so pretty. The sight of it is so soothing. A fitting tool to help calm the storm going on in my head.
Second time title drop, let's go. Color of nature. That is very cruel. But you know what? Sure. Sure, that's how you feel like it. You know what? After seeing the thing from IPGS, when he did the Hunger Games simulator thing, made me want to do that too. And when I do that with a bigger roster, because I'm still building the roster for it, I do hope you die a horrible death. I hope you die... Oh, wait, you know what? No, I hope you die as embarrassingly as I did when IPGS did the Hunger Games thing. I hope you have the same embarrassing-ass death that I did, and in the middle of all the slaughter of people killing each other, you just happen to die of dysentery. And yes, the scream is back, just like everything else.
A fitting tool to help calm the storm going on in my head. I close my bag and turn back to my notes again. I don't even know why I find that so calming. Somehow it just feels right to have it with me. I have a fleeting notion that it's because I don't want to feel alone.
Debbie doesn't... Did I say Debbie? I don't think I said Debbie. Didn't I say IPGS? I'm pretty sure I said IPGS. 99% sure I said IPGS. But yeah, he did that for his affiliate extravaganza. You were actually in it, I think. I think you were in it. Pretty sure you were in it. As was I. And again, I did the sad and died of dysentery. How very boring. I don't quite 100% remember. I mean, you can watch the archive. You can watch the archive if you're curious. That is an option.
I have a fleeting notion that it's because I don't want to feel alone. But that's ridiculous. It's a knife. It's an inanimate object. It's not a companion by any description. I may not know what normal is, but That thought was definitely weird. Can people tell when I'm thinking weird things? I hope not, but how would I know? I don't know. I should stop thinking about it or I'll make myself anxious again. I just want this day to be over.
How many text boxes? Who's counting? I'm not.
Finally, the bell rings. I hastily gather my things, eager to be on my way.
Also, I just want this day to be over. Well, you just have to wait like 45 minutes or so. Have you ever thought about me distracting you? Oh, I think about that all the time. Because it happens all the time.
I'd be more comfortable if there were fewer people, but it feels nice to be finally be on the move. Sometimes sitting still for so long really gets to me. I briskly make my way to the club room. And the first thing I see is Monica's smiling face greeting me.
I add it now because it works. Yeah, of course it does. Twitch. Tort gets timed off for spamming. Codes Twitch. Rob exists. Yeah, no. Yeah, thinking back to the Twitch integrated FNF stream, wasn't that almost entirely Rob? I think so. Imagine if I was just like, yeah, no, entering slow-mo. You know, I probably should figure out if I can turn on slow mode over here on Twitch, because if I do the Twitch integration thing again, I want everyone to have a chance to get their commands off, and we did notice that spamming commands doesn't always allow them to go through anyway, so I might as well turn on slow mode in that case, right? Okay.
Hey Yuri. I wish I could be more like Monica. She always looks so calm and confident. Everyone seems to look up to her. She's like the epitome of normal. If ever there was someone for me to emulate, it would be her. Wait, did she just say something to me? I was so preoccupied, I forgot to pay attention. I'm fine, thank you. I hope that was an appropriate response to whatever she just said. I just want to get back to my book. As I make my way to a seat, I realize too late that Monica looked like she might have wanted to talk to me. I am probably being rude to her. I don't mean to be. The fact that I can't bring myself to talk to her is another reminder that there's something wrong with me. I shouldn't think about that though. It will just make me more anxious.
Slow mode would be fun, you think? I'm still peeved about that. Still peeved about what happened, you mean, with the FNF stuff? Or still peeved about Tort getting timed out? Because I did notice how valiantly you were defending Tort.
I shouldn't think about that though, it will just make me more anxious. I should make some tea, that always helps to calm me. I look over to my tea set in the closet, but Natsuki's in the way. She's tending to a tray that's covered by foil. Of course, the cupcakes, the gift for this mysterious guest that's Yuri's bringing today.
Ah yes, I'm about to enter the club. Did you know that I am spending a lot of time that I would be used to do something productive? It's making a game or learning programming, but instead I used the time to write this long message to mayhaps distract you, and it worked. Worth it. About Tort, I get that. I mean, the thing is, the only reason Tort got timed out was because one of because Wendyrex said, yeah, no, don't like that. It's basically spam. So it wasn't even that Game himself decided to do that. It was just, can you call it peer pressure? I don't know. Ah, yeah. Okay, let's go. Let's see, I'm curious to see when we're gonna be arriving.
Why does she have to be standing there? Why can't she just finish what she's doing and stand somewhere else? I'm paralyzed with indecision. Should I ask her to move? There's no point in talking to Natsuki. I can't make sense of her. Of all the people I've ever met, she seems the most erratic. She's unpredictable. It's so easy to set off her temper. I mostly find it easier to avoid her. I sometimes wonder if I should try getting to know her, but I have no idea how I would go about it. Anyway, I'd be too scared to do it. She's far too intimidating. I've been standing still too long, haven't I? I'll just have to do without tea today. I take a seat and pull out my book. I let out a long sigh. The relief I feel is almost instantaneous. When I'm reading, it's like my mind can expand into whatever fantasy world I want it to. It's as if the storm is more spread out. It's less confined. It doesn't affect me as much. It doesn't even matter if I'm actually focused on the words I'm reading. I just let my mind drift wherever it wants to. It's a remarkably freeing sensation. Words can't express how thankful I am to Monica for starting the literature club.
Actually seeing the Yuri death scene. What if I like being what kind of question is that? Okay. Turns out I haven't played this mod. Well, damn. Then you're experiencing a new mod today. I had the same feeling like Yuri while playing visual novels. Honestly, I get that. I do get that. Sometimes when reading, or even when watching stuff, sometimes my mind just drifts. Even if I'm not completely absorbing everything, I'm just like, yeah, I can just free myself from everything around me. I do get that too. I feel like that's a thing that a lot of people get. I think we're not the only ones here.
Of course, I can read at home too, but there's something cathartic about being able to do something I love in such a public place. It makes me feel human. Like, even with all the weirdness that keeps popping into my mind, there's still something that connects me with people. I wonder what a new member will be like. Also, Yuri would say is that her friend is an awesome person who would make an amazing addition to our club. She was very vague in her description. She didn't even give the gender of her guest. It will probably be another girl, which will make 5 of us. But I find myself wondering, what if it's a boy? That would change the dynamics of the group, wouldn't it? The rules always seem to be different between boys and girls. They're supposed to act differently and be treated differently. I've never understood it. Like everything else in the world, it doesn't make sense to me. I just try my best to play along, because I know that it's expected of me. I learned a long time ago the consequences of failing to meet the expectations of normalcy. Suddenly, Yuri energetically burst in through the door.
And there it goes. Catching up with the main game here. Playing games, I don't remember much. I do remember a lot of your streams though. Intriguing. That means in my streams you can't exactly zone out. Oh no. Just 5 of us in this classroom on the ground. Yeah, it's not in the sky, sadly. Anyways, I shot your godforsaken background. Alright, again, I feel sorry, but I didn't exactly design my background with the intention of having it modeled in clay, out of clay, you know? How was I supposed to have seen this coming? Damn.
Everyone, the new member's here! Yuri's another mystery altogether, and yet I have a feeling that, in a way, we might have the most in common. She always seems to be smiling, but there's something about her smile that's different from everyone else's. And I know what it is. It's an act. I know because I recognize that the effort she puts into it is the same as the effort I put into pretending to be normal. I wonder if she practices in front of a mirror like I do. Every once in a while, when she thinks no one's looking, I see her expression slip. Like a crack in the mask that she's wearing. And I see the pain that she's hiding briefly show through. Still, everyone treats her as if she's happy. Are they just playing along with the act to make her feel better? Is it possible that they really don't know that she's not happy? I have so many questions, but I don't know who I would ask or how. I sometimes fantasize about having the courage to start a conversation with her. One thing's for sure, she must have a great love of literature. Otherwise, Monica wouldn't have made her vice president of the club. I find it hard to imagine anyone loving books more than I do. All the answers to the mysteries are there, I just have to read the words. And even if the answers aren't provided directly, it doesn't matter. Because I can just let my imagination walk through all the hidden meanings, or just find my own. Being able to let my mind wander freely is indescribably wonderful. Especially after the exhaustion of a long day of keeping focused while at school. Suddenly, my attention is drawn to Sayori's guest. I see a boy walk into the room.
Oh shit, there he be. It's MC. Potato, if there is sauce, I prefer rice. If there is no sauce, then potato is the way to... What are you even talking about? And almost did the demi animations, didn't do miss once. Ah, miss. Well, missing is... You can just basically put a little bit of a filter on top of stuff and there you have your miss animation, I guess. I am a ghost. Well, for me it says 5. Oh, you fool, you made me mention the number, how could you?
As always, I'm instantly curious about his personal story, but I think it's more so than usual this time, because he looks so timid, so withdrawn. I think I see something of myself in him. I see him mutter something to Sayori. Something about how soft-spoken he is makes me feel compelled to reach out to him. Before I know it, I'm out of my chair walking toward him, my book forgotten. I think some formal pleasantries would be appropriate. Welcome to the Literature Club. It's a pleasure meeting you. Sayori always says nice things about you.
Seriously, you brought a boy? Way to kill the atmosphere.
I'm too stunned to even react. How can Natsuki be so rude? What if she scares him away? Ah, Code, what a nice surprise. Welcome to the club. Oh, Monica knows him. I can't help feeling disappointed. She's so popular, it probably means that any small hope of me getting to know him is gone. He is visibly stunned by all the attention. I really feel for him. I know what it's like.
It's my plan all along. Rip book. Yeah, poor book, just abandoned. If Yuri abandons a book, that's just sad.
I wish I could think of what to say.
What are you looking at? If you wanna say something, say it.
Sorry.
I'm feeling more annoyance at Natsuki's behavior. Natsuki? Sayori whispers something in Code's ear. I hope she's offering some kind of reassurance that will make him stay. He's the most interesting person I've seen in a long time.
Anyway, this is Natsuki, always full of energy. And this is Yuri, the smartest in the club.
Don't say things like that. I don't deserve such compliments.
Damn. Beer from Friday Night Funkin' is eating me out of house and home. 2 clay packs left. Whew. Damn. Always getting the... I mean, I guess that's one thing that's... Yeah, the whole clay modeling thing doesn't probably get any cheaper with time, because you always have to buy more and more clay to keep your supply going. I guess that really is something where you gotta put a little bit of money into all the time. Whereas there are some things that you basically invest into once and then you're good to go. And then there are, again, other things that get even more expensive as it goes on. I think clay is like pretty middle of the road. Girls join our friend group. One girl's acting more like the other. Now our friend group is getting kinda divided. Because if the girls are outing, there's a 2.63% chance that they will invite me and 2 other... Well, that's a low chance, but damn. Low chance.
I don't deserve such compliments.
Ah, well, it's nice to meet both of you.
And it sounds like you already know Monica, is that right?
That's right.
It's great to see you again, Code.
She gives him a lingering smile. My heart sinks. They must know each other very well.
You too, Monica.
That stammer, that look of uncertainty. I can't help but feel a flutter of hope. Maybe they aren't that close after all?
Come sit down, Code. We made room for you at the table so you can sit next to me or Monica.
He's probably going to sit next to Monica. She's so wonderful. Why wouldn't he give him that choice? I wonder if I'll have another opportunity to talk to him.
I'll get the cupcakes.
Hey, I made them. I'll get them.
Sorry, got a little too excited.
And how about I make some tea as well? Oh, but I suddenly realized that this means that Natsuki and I are going to the closet at the same time. Being in such close proximity to her makes me nervous. My hands shake as I pick up the kettle while Natsuki picks up the tray with her cupcakes. Our eyes meet. Try to be nice. She gives me a sour look and then continues as if she didn't hear me. Did I say the wrong thing? Is she mad at me? She always seemed a little mad. I don't know if I would know the difference. I just don't want her to ruin any chance I might have of talking to Code. I hurry out of the room and fill the kettle with water.
I did make him half a leg and pants. Well, it's progress. Half a leg and pants? Definitely progress. Friend group, someone asked why they didn't ping me when asking what everyone was planning because she wanted to go out with them. She answered that she didn't like me. They might not like me. It started with 4 of us. Without the girls in the group can still continue in its original state. I see. Well, if it's gonna continue also. Neon, hi, welcome to the stream. Hi, we're playing a DDLC mod today. It's fun, we're playing basically from Yuri's point of view apparently. We just met the main character, he just entered the club room and we're currently busy preparing tea while Natsuki's preparing the cupcakes. So yeah, also Rob, you are successful at distracting me, as always.
I hurry out of the room to fill the kettle with water. It's pleasingly quiet out here. It crosses my mind that I would love to calm myself by holding my knife for a bit. But it's in my bag in the club room. I can't go back for it. Oh well, the tea should suffice to calm me down. As I heat up the water, I see that everyone has started eating cupcakes without me. That's fine, I didn't want one anyway. Probably too sweet for me. I noticed that Code chose the seat next to Sayori. Does that mean he doesn't like Monica after all? The thought gives me a vaguely happy feeling that makes my hands shake slightly as I pour the tea into the teacups from my set. You see that Natsuki's talking to Code, but he's being very dismissive of the conversation. Good.
Wow. Okay then. Not sure how to feel about that one. She doesn't like me. She didn't say anything. Some people just don't like some people. Sometimes there's nothing you can do about it. As sad as that reality may be.
Now's my chance to try to impress him. I march over to the table where everyone is gathered, carrying my tea set, trying to look as confident as possible. I even start to feel a little confident. If neither Monica nor Natsuki impressed Code, then this could be my chance. I proudly present my tea set in the center of the group, next to the cupcakes, which I see are in the shape of cats.
You keep a whole tea set in this classroom?
Code noticed me. I swore with pride. Don't worry, the teachers gave us permission. After all, does the hot cup of tea help you enjoy a good book?
I guess.
Don't let yourself get intimidated. He's just trying to impress you.
My confidence is shattered. Was I that obvious? Was this a mistake? That's not... I turn away to try to hide how ashamed I feel.
Damn. And that's the reason I am gonna become a wizard. 30 plus years of virtual experience is required. You can do it, but if you end the run early, I'm also not gonna blame you. Either way, I'm gonna congratulate you, whichever way it goes.
I find myself fidgeting with my hair. I'm sure it looks weird. Why can't I stop myself? Is Monica trying to sabotage me? She's so popular. She could have anyone she wants. Why can't she leave Code for me? She always seems so sweet and kind, but now I start to wonder if she secretly hates me as much as everyone else does. Maybe I deserve it. I meant that, you know.
I believe you. Well, tea and reading may not be a pastime for me, but I at least enjoy tea.
He enjoys tea. I'm glad. The relief I feel threatens to overwhelm me. I have to focus to control my breathing, to not show any outward sign of anything strange.
What if you turn the girl command into choose your code command? I could do that. Or I could do a few separate ones and make the combinations possible. Like do the virus thing and then combine, and if you do that and the why you know girl, you get virus John. I could do that, but that would probably end up being very expensive because you'd have to trigger two at the same time. But it could be a thing that we could consider. We could consider that one. Nuke Chan went, stop! You haven't requested that for such a long time, and now it's coming back in full swing.
Act normal, act normal, act normal. The conversation is continuing. I'm vaguely aware that Monica and Code are still talking to each other, but I've stopped being able to focus on it because this is more important. I have to show Code that I can be normal, that I can be worthy of his attention. Yes, I nod to myself in determination. Wait, I shouldn't be nodding. That might look weird. A wave of panic washes over me, but no one seems to have noticed. I can't let slips like that happen again. I have to act normal. What would a normal person do? I guess they would join in the conversation. I suppressed the urge to shut at the thought. I don't know how to make conversation. But I have to try. Maybe I could try to find out more about him. I wonder if he likes books. I wonder if he likes knives. No, stop. Don't talk about knives. That's weird. Don't even think about them. Just books. Just talk about books. Books are normal. Books are a normal thing to talk about. Just focus on that.
Right, everyone?
Sorry.
Right, everyone?
Oh, wait, what was that?
Yeah!
Are we doing something? We'll do our best.
You know it!
I don't think anyone noticed anything strange.
Yeah, imagine just agreeing to something that you have no idea what you just agreed to. What if you... yeah, I read that. Before the FNF stream, I referenced in this Life is Strange. Still, I insist for you using the default code for reactions. Ah, yes. Perfect for reactions, right? Just sit there. Stare. Maybe do a quick smile every once in a while. What would a normal person do? I don't know. And my friends say I'm one of the most normal, if not the most normal. Well, that's bad. That's bad if you don't, yeah, because then you can't take, yeah, you are a normal person. That just, you can always, my train of thought is gone. I can't talk. I will now play game.
I don't think anyone noticed anything strange. There's a pause in the conversation. Now's my chance. So, Code, what kinds of things do you like to read?
Well, manga.
Oh, I noticed that Natsuki suddenly looks interested. Of course, her love of manga is obvious from her collection she keeps in the clubroom closet. He is probably going to like her more than me. I can't hide the disappointment in my voice. Not much of a reader, I guess.
Well, that can change.
Is he saying he wants to read more books? Of course, that's a silly question. Why else would he be in a literature club?
Anyway, what about you, Yuri?
Well, let's see. It's such a broad question, I'm not sure where to start. I find myself idly playing with my teacup as I collect my thoughts. My favorites are usually novels that build deep and complex fantasy worlds. The level of creativity and craftsmanship behind them is amazing to me. And telling a good story in such a foreign world is equally impressive. My confidence grows the more I speak. I don't normally get to talk about how much I love books. I can't help feeling like I'm rambling a little, but I plow on anyway. But, you know, like a lot of things, stories with deep psychological elements usually immerse me as well. Isn't it amazing how a writer can so deliberately take advantage of your own lack of imagination to completely throw you for a loop? Anyway, I've been reading a lot of horror lately.
Ah, I read a horror book once.
Yes, I feel relieved. This is going so well, I can't help feeling a little giddy.
Ah, going so well. Meanwhile, on main character's side, I desperately grasp onto something I can relate to at the minimal level. She might as well be having a conversation with a rock. And then Yuri, this is going so well. I can't believe this is going so well. So relieved. These two perspectives couldn't be more different, huh? So you like to read visual novels and English subbed anime. Yes, that kind of counts as reading, but yeah, visual novels. With a wall, not a rock. No, I think the text box said you might as well be having a conversation with a rock. Pretty sure. But maybe I am mistaken. As in someone screams... Oh, you go all this... Ah, wouldn't that be something? Oh no, the scary quote.
Really? I wouldn't have expected that, Yuri. For someone as gentle as you.
Gentle? She must really not be able to see into my head if she thinks I'm gentle. I guess you could say that, but if a story makes me think or takes me to another world, I really can't help put it down. I do enjoy my isekai fantasy. Surreal horror is often very successful at changing the way you look at the world, if only for a brief moment.
I hate horror!
Oh, why's that?
Well, never mind.
That's right, you usually like to write about cute things, don't you, Natsuki?
Just like that, the conversation is pulled away from me. I hate this. It always happens when I'm in a group. The conversation moves too fast for me to keep up. Anytime I think of something to say, it takes so long to collect my thoughts about how to say it that the conversation moves past it and the moment is lost. There's so much inside my head that I want to get out, that I want to express, but all I can do is just sit there. It's frustrating. How do normal people do it? I usually end up just tuning out of the conversation and living in my head instead.
Ah, Yuri. I hate that there are some relatable things in here sometimes.
I wish I could have the experience of knowing what it's like to connect with someone.
Ugh, like a knife to the heart. Get it, knife? I'm sorry. Do you enjoy my isekai fantasy? Oh, my mind. Shit, wait. Him seems legit. Wait. What do you mean? What do you mean? Did that really? But yeah, is it wrong to enjoy the good old isekai? If it takes you to another world? That phrase about subverting imagination. Ah, yeah. Take advantage of your lack of imagination to completely throw you for a loop. Like how this game does.
I'm not cute!
Natsuki suddenly snaps me out of my reverie.
Natsuki, you write your own poems?
Well, I guess sometimes. Why do you care?
I think that's impressive. Why don't you share them sometime?
No. You wouldn't like them.
Ah, another very confident writer yet.
I sigh inwardly. Natsuki's continuing to be rude to Code. But maybe this is my opportunity to join back in with the discussion. I understand how Natsuki feels. Sharing that level of writing takes more than just confidence. The truest form of writing is writing to oneself. You must be willing to open up to your readers, exposing your vulnerabilities and showing even the deepest reaches of your heart.
Do you have writing experience too, Yuri?
I'm sorry.
Do you have writing experience too, Yuri? Maybe if you share some of your work, you can set an example and help Natsuki feel more comfortable, feel comfortable enough to share hers.
Panic flashed through me. I was speaking rhetorically. I didn't mean I would actually share anything.
Natsuki is not cute. She is cute. There is no ifs. There is no ifs or buts. She's cute. Gives me the brain too much. Just gives the brain too much to work for the game to live up to. I see. Also, no bonk. No bonk.
I'm too focused on trying to stay calm to reply.
I guess it's the same for Yuri.
Oh, I wanted to read everyone's poems.
It's true that I sometimes write my thoughts down, but it's only for my own benefit. It helps me to understand the inner workings of my own mind, particularly when the storm strikes, which it typically does when I'm in stressful situations, or just trying to navigate social gatherings. The storm is nebulous, tempestuous, rarely in control. Capturing it on paper goes a long way toward calming it, but sharing it, I shudder at the thought. What would people think if I showed them what I wrote about, my urges, or anything else I've written for that matter? I don't want anyone to know how weird the inside of my head is.
Okay,
Sorry.
okay. I have an idea, everyone. Let's all go around and write a poem of our own. The next time we meet, we'll all share them with each other. That way, everyone's even.
I don't think that makes things any easier.
Yay, let's do it!
I'm sorry if I suck at voices sometimes. Have you ever ate... Natsuki is cute, and that's a fact, indeed. Yeah, it is still the first day. Undertale, buy them only in Snowden. In Snowden there is ice, and they are only legs. Yeah, that could have been a U, damn spells on ice shot here on. What kind of, huh? Also, why would I eat horse? Why horse?
Plus, now that we have a new member, I think it will help us all get a little more comfortable with each other and strengthen the bond of the club. Isn't that right, Code?
Hold on, there's still one problem.
Oh? What's that?
I never said I would join this club. Sayori may have convinced me to stop by, but I never made any decision. I still have other clubs to look at, and
And in an instant, all of that expectation and hope that had been building up inside of me suddenly crushed. A sense of loss might have brought me to tears if I wasn't so used to it.
But
I'm sorry, I thought we could get to know each other, but I could never say that out loud.
Code?
you're...
Code is visibly troubled. I can see that he's in deep thought. I ache with wonder all over again about what thoughts might be going on in his head.
Right. Okay, I've decided then. I'll join the literature club.
The confusion of troubled emotions inside me is indescribable. What's happening? You really did scare me for a moment. I spoke without thinking. It might not be normal to feel scared in a situation like this. But fortunately no one notices because Sayori has just wrapped her arms around Code and is jumping up and down.
Yes, I'm so happy!
Hey!
Code is clearly not enjoying this. A strange thought crosses my mind that it would bother me more if he did enjoy it. Why do I feel that way? Why do I feel good about the fact that he's uncomfortable with Sayori's contact?
Because you're crushing on me! As one should. Plate full of spaghetti? obviously I've eaten a plate full of spaghetti. In fact, I've eaten such big portions that people, that whenever I was eating with someone, they were amazed at the fact that I was able to fit that all inside me. I do eat the massive portions occasionally. Not often, but when I do, afterwards I feel like I'm about to explode. Dan Salvado's work. Complete his Mario Maker levels. I'm not sure I want to. I know I am aware that he made Mario Maker levels. Like he did, for example, wasn't it him who did like a co-op level where you have to jump on top of each other to hit on-off blocks and then get launched out of them? Or something? Something about launching and on-off blocks, I vaguely remember, but I'm not really sure. Also stop, I'm not gonna read these distractions, because you specifically say this is just a distraction.
Does it make me a bad person that I want him to feel bad? I'm overtaken by guilt. What's wrong with me? Surely if I wanted some kind of connection with him, I should want him to feel good, right? People are still talking, but I don't hear them. I vaguely acknowledge that Monica has declared the club meeting over. I try to occupy myself with putting my tea set away, but the guilt keeps rolling around inside me. I slowly walk home, lost in thought. Well, I will just have to do something nice for Code to make up for those hurtful things thoughts I had. But what? My mind goes into overdrive, poring over every detail I can recall about today. I realize that I really didn't learn much about him. There was only one moment where I talked to him for any length of time. I read a horror book once. That's what he said. It gives me an idea. I change direction and start walking toward the bookstore. It sounded like he doesn't read much, so I don't know how much he would appreciate a book as a present. But he also said, well, that can change, so maybe it will be okay. And he sounded like he was okay with that horror book, right? In fact, now that I think about it, that was the only thing he responded to when I was talking to him. Yes, the more I think about it, the more I realize that a horror book will be the perfect gift for him. It's either that or buying him a manga, and I have no idea what I would get him in that case. A sudden idea strikes me. I pick up my pace, flooded with excitement. I'm almost running as I enter the bookstore. My heart is racing as I head straight to the horror section. It doesn't take me long to find what I'm looking for. I would recognize that bright red eye on the front cover anywhere. After paying for it, I carry it in front of me, admiring the new book as I resume walking home. Portrait of Markov.
Ah, the good one. Doesn't look good. Stop. The funny tragic song. We do have the tragic song. Also, can I just say I'm curious about, because we're watching this from Yuri's perspective, meaning we have no control over the main character. My question, since we're watching this from Yuri's perspective, is the main character actually going the Yuri route? Or is this gonna be a tragic story of us watching as he grows closer to one of the other two girls? I do indeed be curious. I'm guessing it's gonna be the Yuri route, but it could also very well be that he's going for the other girls. We'll see. How should I read that? How should I even read that? How are you doing, I guess is what that says. Oh, come on, you know what? You know why it's confusing? Because I see some Japanese symbols in there, but not... I don't see how it makes any real sense in context. Because it's also a mix of katakana and hiragana. That was very weird, that one above the It do be weird.
It's my all-time favorite book. I've read it 100 times. I know you'll love it. I start happily skipping and humming to myself on my way home. That's probably a silly and childish thing to do, but right now I don't care. I'm feeling really excited about tomorrow now, and Code's delighted reaction when I present him with this gift.
Oh, Bugard, hi! E! Hi, welcome to the stream. E. Oh, hey, that's a knife collection! Or at least part of a knife collection. I'm not sure if that's all of them. Also, that is a very dangerous place to have a knife collection. Like, really. Above your bed. Right above your head while sleeping. Why would you have your knife collection right above your head, right above the head of your bed? That doesn't seem safe. But sure, I guess. Fonts, every letter was another font. Wait. We need to do something. Just wait 6 minutes for Tuesday. Wow, really? I have never played League of Legends, by the way. Wenderix would have a fit over this. Probably. Yes. Maybe. I don't know. Well, then again, it's not like... I think part of the reason why Wenderix was upset was also because it was... partially also because it was roleplay, and I guess that's another thing that... it was roleplay spam instead of just normal spam. I never played. I will never play either, probably.
I'm still smiling contently to myself as I enter my room, still fantasizing about discussing the book with Code after he's finished reading it. I can't wait to share my theories about the third eye with him. That's always been my favorite aspect of the story to speculate about. I set my bag on the floor, still holding my new book in front of me. Out of curiosity, I go to my bookcase and pull out my own copy of the book. I set them down on my bed so I can look at the two of them side by side. They look like a pair of eyes gazing into me. I briefly consider getting yet another copy so there will be a third eye. The thought makes me giggle. I think this is a good time to change out of my uniform. As elegant as it looks, I've never liked the way it shows my figure. I might as well put on my pajamas since I won't be going out again today. As I change, I try to avoid looking at my body, especially my arms. I try to distract myself by reminiscing about the details of my book, the adventure, the mystery, the bizarre events that shape the characters' lives.
What F mods do you want to play next Friday? Do you have anything in mind? Have you played Geometry Dash? You're really just spamming me. Did you... You really just want to hit Tuesday on this, huh? Well, when it comes to what F mods, I'd have to check my folder again to see what's in there, likely. But Baddies is definitely on top of the list, FNF Baddies. I do want to play that. But other than that, I'd have to check again. Geometry Dash, I think I played forever ago, like a few rounds, and that was about it. Never really got into it. Other visual novels other than Danganronpa and obviously Doki Doki. Trying to think. I mean, I guess some games might have a slight visual novel aspect, but they're more RPG. Like, you know, when you have an RPG, they usually have like these few elements where you, with your character interactions, where it looks a little bit like a visual novel, but it's not a visual novel because visual novels have the text at its core. So I guess, other than that, my selection is pretty limited. Actually, hang on, I think the ReZero visual novel counts. I played that on stream even. That was a visual novel as well. It did have combat elements, but visual novel was its main focus. I have never played Among Us so far. I have not played Among Us so far. It could be fun to maybe eventually get into it, maybe with chat or something, but I actually have the game. I did get the game on Steam, but I have yet to play it. Do you like snow? Who doesn't like snow? Clear out rhythm gaming. For God's sake, I'll try. Okay, I'll go back and see what else is in there. And maybe at least get a few more mods from there prepared. How many lamps do you have? We need lamp counter. No lamp counter. Alright.
And if I find myself getting lost in my imagination again, he's been captured. His only hope is if I can sneak into the facility and free him. I tiptoe around my room, imagining that I am in the human experiment prison. There he is, tied to the bed. I duck down next to my bookcase. I'll have to choose my moment carefully when they're distracted. I imagine the scientist leaving the room. Now's my chance. I tiptoe up to my bed. And then I say, "Code, it's me, Yuri. I'm here to rescue you." And then he says, I do my best to imitate his voice.
This is gonna be the best imitation of my own voice. Be prepared, because it's gonna sound exactly like my own voice. You wanna know how good I can imitate my voice? Let's go. But you can't rescue me. You're a girl. Ah, okay. What kind of line is that? Yuri, what kind of image of me do you have in your head? What kind of image of me do you have in your head to think that I would say stuff like that? Who in their right mind would say that? Seriously. How many seconds are you ahead? You should know. It's Tuesday, my dudes. Funny Monica. Getting cut mod. That was a funny one, yeah. That was a very funny one. Mod is accurate. Nothing is accurate. I am the man of gender equality. Yes, we need gender equality. Also, of course, I wouldn't mind what gender my rescuer was. Why would I? I would just be happy that someone's rescuing me in that moment.
And then I say, I'll do what I want. This is my story now. I chuckle at my little meta-narrative. Besides, you don't want to know what they're going to do to you when they get back. And he says,
"But how am I going to get out?"
And I say, don't worry. I pull my green knife out of my bag. I'll cut you loose. I pretend to cut the restraints binding Code. Now come with me, I'll get you out of here. I pretend to sneak out of the facility again. The two of us escape to safety together. And he turns to me with a look of awe on his face and he says,
"Wow, I guess I underestimated you. You're so clever and brave, Yuri. Will you be my friend?" Ah! Even in a fantasy, I'm friend-zoning her. To be fair, I'm not sure. It would depend on how close I would be with any of the other Dokis. Like again, Natsuki is still top tier. Yuri is nice, but out of the Dokis, out of all the Dokis, she's ranked 4th out of 4. But she's still a great person. But, I mean, if I had to choose between her and Natsuki, yeah, Yuri would be getting friend-zoned. Sorry to say. Gender equality. I and the others distracted you long enough for the mod to be accurate. It is true. Yuri as Fiona in Shrek. Ah, of course. Yuri's friend-zoning you. Yuri is imagining me friend-zoning her.
And then I say, of course, having friends is the best thing in the world. And then he says,
"Is that true? I've never had a friend before." Okay, that's what Yuri thinks of me. I'm out. Ah, that hurts. Ah, that hurts. Chat, is that how you see me as well? Is that how you see me as well? Because if so, wow. I mean, I know I'm pathetic, but do I really seem that pathetic? Ooh, that hurts.
And I say, oh no, how awful. Well, if you stay with me, Code, and I'll introduce you to all my friends. I have lots of them. And he says,
"I'm so thankful I met you, Yuri. I was so lonely."
And I say, well, those days are over, Code. Now we can be best friends forever. Nobody deserves to be lonely. Nobody. I smile, imagining myself and Code doing things that normal people do together with their friends. And then I turn my gaze to the books on my bed. I stop smiling. Won't it be weird that I'm giving a brand new book to someone I just met? Oh no, I'm overtaken by panic. I almost ruined everything. I can't even count the number of times I've turned people away from me just by trying to be friendly. At the best of times, they withdraw from me, afraid or disgusted or just uncomfortable.
You are friend now. We are all friend. Instead of ogre, it's her knowing, or her knife king going overdrive. Again, there's one thing I'm worried about. What if she's sleeping one night, and during that night an earthquake happens to hit? Just out of curiosity, what would happen? Because again, look at the room layout and think about what I pointed out earlier. And think about the fact that earthquakes do happen every once in a while. Yeah, what if she's asleep while one hits? She dead? Depends on the strength of the earthquake? I mean, I guess if it's a really weak one, that's fine. But still, the positioning of everything in this room is kind of, I'll finally sleep. Well then, yeah, go have a really good night. Hope you are gonna sleep well, and thanks for popping in. I deserve to be lonely. Then why are we having funerals for only one person at a time, and why is the person being buried alone? Sad. Because their soul isn't in their body anymore at that point, so it's just a thing. It's just an object. Going to sleep at probably 3 to 5. But by that point in time, my stream will be over, but be sure not to overdo it, okay? But yeah, again, if an earthquake hits, all the knives up there will likely fall. And if she's in bed, her face would be right below those knives. Her face would be right below the knives if an earthquake hits while she's asleep there, very bad. That would be a yikes.
Though more often they prefer to laugh at me or make fun of me. And at the worst of times, I'm so stupid. This is why I don't have any friends. Whenever I get excited about something, I act without thinking. Tears are forming in my eyes. Why can't I just be normal? Everyone else makes it look so easy, like it comes naturally to them. There must be something seriously wrong with me to make me the way I am. I'm only vaguely aware of rolling up my left sleeve. I look at the orderly pattern of marks on my forearm. Another sign that there's something wrong with me. The storm is rising. A lifetime of failures rushing through my mind.
The text box color is changing a lot. It's red now. So, okay, that confirms it. The color of the text box corresponds with a heart rate. It's purple normally, then it goes back to the original pink from the main game when her heart rate speeds up, and if it speeds up even more, it goes red. Okay, I wonder if it will change any more than that, or if that is the extent of its changes. Will it get even darker? Maybe it will get even darker. But depends on how handle is heavier than the knife. You're just letting blood on the text box. Ugh.
The storm is rising, a lifetime of failures rushing through my mind. My breathing becomes more rapid as I bring the blade in contact with my arm. I start sobbing as I allow it to break my skin. I'm so stupid, I'm so stupid, I'm so stupid. I watch the blood flow down my wrist, just as my tears flow down my face. Gradually, my heart rate and breathing return to normal. I quickly grab tissues from the box on my bedside table and press them against the cut to stop the bleeding. As the storm subsides, I can think a little more clearly. Why did I do that?
Darker yet darker. That is what it. Yeah. Just yeah. Don't mind me trying to form logical sentences. Doesn't work half the time.
Why did I do that? It's been 3 weeks since the last time I cut myself. I was doing so well. I had been planning to reward myself when I reached the 1 month mark. now I've ruined it. I'm angry at myself for giving into my urges. I even feel like I should cut myself again in punishment. But I know that's not a rational thing to do, and I know that would just make me feel worse in the end. As I look at the knife in my hand, it occurs to me that it's been in my bag all day, so the blade was probably dirty. I shudder at the thought that something so unclean just entered my body. I rush to the bathroom. I wash the cut in the sink. It stings when I get soap on it, but I know it will feel better afterward. I see my blood mingle with water go down the drain. I know that any normal person would feel revolted at the sight. I've been called weird by people at school for my whole life, and they don't even know about this. They probably call me a freak if they found out. That's a word I've heard used to describe me before. I gaze into my reflection in the mirror. No one could ever like you. The truth of it threatens to overwhelm me.
Ugh. Perfect time to... Yeah, you go brush your teeth. Do that. Stay healthy, you know. Take care. Good dental hygiene is important.
It makes me feel so sad that I want to cut myself again. But that's against my rules. I refuse to do it a second time. I shouldn't let my mind go there again. Sometimes the urge comes when I'm feeling sad. Pain feels like a fitting companion to the sadness. Sometimes the urge comes when I'm feeling stressed and my mind is feeling scattered. Pain brings my mind back into focus. Sometimes the urge comes when I'm feeling numb. Pain reminds me that I'm alive, that I'm human, and that I can still feel things.
You know, forgetting to eat for 12 hours. Eat something! Anything! Please! Seriously, you gotta look out for yourself. You gotta look out for yourself.
Sometimes I just feel like I deserve to suffer. I wish I knew how to stop this habit altogether. I do what I can to keep myself away from my knives when I'm feeling depressed, and it helps. But sometimes there are situations, like today, when it catches me completely off guard. I was feeling happy when I got home. How did things go so wrong? I don't know how to fight it when the urge sneaks up on me so suddenly like this. I guess I shouldn't have allowed myself to think such sad thoughts while I had a knife in my hands. I glance at the knife, now sitting seemingly innocently on the edge of the sink, telltale traces of blood visible on the blade. A strange feeling of betrayal crosses my mind. But I know that's irrational too. It's just an inanimate object. It didn't do this to me, I did it to myself. Why do I keep thinking of my knives as their people? I try to put it from my mind as I carefully wash the knife off. I wish I could control my impulses better. I wish this was a problem that I could apply my intellect to solve rationally and reasonably and come to a definitive solution. But this feeling is so irrational, it can't be reasoned with, it can't be figured out.
How to stop it the Sayori way. That is not a good way to solve your problems.
And after I do it once, it's so easy to spiral out of control and keep doing it. Even now the sight of the cut is making me feel agitated, but I know I'll feel better once I put a bandage on it. I come back into my room and take a bandage out of the box of them that's in my bag. I always have bandages with me just in case one of my cuts starts bleeding again while I'm at school. With the cut bandaged and my sleeves hiding my arms from view, I actually do feel a little better. And now it's time to put my knife back on the rack with the others. After returning it to its rightful place on the rack, I let out a sigh as I gaze at my collection. No matter how bad my day is, it always improves my mood to look at my beautiful knives. And now that I'm calmer, I find myself coming back to the problem of what I'm going to do about the book. I can't do anything that will look weird. I can't. I don't want to risk doing anything that will drive Code away. Should I return the book to the bookstore? I carefully ponder this. No, I still have to make things up to him, and I really want to make him feel welcome in the club. Well, what if I give him my own copy and keep the new one for myself? That could work, couldn't it? Giving him a gift will be less weird if I claim that it's an old thing I had lying around my house. At least, I think it's less weird. I'm never sure of these things. The only other thing I can think of to do is to damage the new book so it looks older. But I could never do that. Books deserve to be treated with respect. So I think giving him my book is the best option. Can't help feeling guilty about it though. I've had this book for so long, it feels like a betrayal to give it up. But that's just nonsense, right? It's an inanimate object, just like my knives, it has no feelings. I slip my book into my bag and try not to think about it. Isn't there something else I'm supposed to do? Oh, right. How could I forget? The poem. I shudder with fear thinking about it. Tomorrow I have to share a poem that I wrote. How can I do such a thing? Everything I've ever written is terribly personal and probably really bizarre in the eyes of normal people. But I find myself thinking about Code. I have to make him feel welcome. I have to prove to him that I'm someone worth spending time with. I'm not even sure why I feel so strongly about it, but I have the strangest feeling that there's something special about him. And makes me wish more than ever that I was normal so I could have a friend. I pull out my notebook and sit down at my desk with my pen in hand. I flip through it looking for inspiration, glancing over all my stories of flights of fantasy, some darker than others, looking over all my attempts to understand the storm in my mind, and how it leads to my most secret habits. My first thought is that whatever I write has to be something mild, something safe to talk about. Can't let it come anywhere close to the full fury of what goes on in my head. Something accessible to normal people, but I still want to get to know Code, so it also has to be me. I chuckle to myself, not that I really think about it. This doesn't have to be hard at all. I can just write about my experiences in the club today. Something that expresses how much I want to hold on to my sense of comfort, and how I'm being pushed out of it. Once the idea comes to me, I'm able to write it down quickly. I write the title at the top, Ghost Under the Light. It's a little short, but anything I add to it will seem like unnecessary padding. Now that that's done, I feel a lot better.
Top 10 anime betrayals? Yes. Top 10 anime betrayals. Speaking of poems, I still have another poem on the list of stuff I have to write. The thing is, I have to go into a stream archive to find out what it's supposed to be about. Because I think it was Medic who requested it. It didn't trigger, and then when it finally triggered for them, the only thing that they wrote in the corresponding text box that I can access is E. So I could theoretically just say, hey, I'm gonna write a poem and the topic of it is just gonna be E. I could do that, but I think I'm gonna actually look into the archive and see what they actually intended for it to say in there. Probably.
Now that that's done, I feel a lot better. I should probably head to bed. I walk over to my bed and see my new book still sitting there. I find myself idly flipping through the pages, reliving the events of the book that I know so well. Something about the smell of the pages really enticing. I love the smell of new books. I'm feeling inspired. I think I might like to reread it again. I place the book in my bag next to the other one so I can bring it to school tomorrow. It's been quite a day, but now it's time to sleep.
And there we go, the first day is over.
I feel a lot better the following morning, and good enough that I think I'll bring my purple knife today. The purple color matches my hair and my eyes. Maybe it'll bring me good luck. I take a moment to admire it, tracing the pattern of little yellow lightning bolts in the handle with my fingers. I entertain myself with the spring-loaded blade. It makes an ever so satisfying click sound when I pop it out or retract it. When I'm done playing with it, I put it in my bag and head out.
Game, welcome to the stream. Hello, hello, hello. You were chilling on Sid's stream earlier. How did the stream, how was the stream after I left? I'm sure it was a lot of fun still. But welcome. We're currently playing a mod that's from Yuri's point of view. So that is interesting. Sid says hi. Very nice. I really need to go onto the server again soon-ish, because I think I saw that someone else got the achievement from an ally, so I'm guessing 2 of my 4 allies have been sold. Meaning I need to probably restock, because that means half of my allies are gone. I do have more, it's just gonna take a while to transport them back, because they're pretty far away. They are pretty far away. So yeah, I'll likely have to transport them through the nether just to speed things up a little bit, but even if I go through the nether, that's like 500 blocks of travel. I'll see when I'll be able to do it. I also need some new leads in that case. And yeah, also Matt, welcome to the stream. Banana. Banana. We do enjoy a banana. Unless you throw one at me.
My good mood carries me through the day. I'm still smiling to myself as I enter the club room after school. Code isn't here yet. I see Monica talking to...
Okay then.
I see Monica talking to Natsuki at the back of the room.
Want to start playing Minecraft again, but I need to migrate my account and it's registered to my dad's email, so it's confusing. Ah, sad. You know, the thing about account migration is kind of... You want the Pibby corrupted? Why does everyone just say Pibby corrupted to Virus Code? Or Virus Chan, is it the new one? Speaking of, I think I wanted to drop a little image on Discord again where all the different versions of me have been compiled in one spot. I wanted to drop that. I have to do that soonish. So yeah.
Code isn't here yet. I see Monica talking to Natsuki at the back of the room. Sayori approaches me.
Hey Yuri, you look so happy today.
Sayori's smile looks genuine, not like the usual mask she wears. It feeds into my excitement about my plans for today. Good afternoon, Sayori. And yes, I'm feeling quite pleased. You see, I have a gift for Code, one I know he's going to love. There's a subtle change in Sayori's expression. Her genuine smile is replaced by her usual mask. The transition is so smooth, I almost don't notice it. I wonder how she does it. I feel like I should be getting acting tips from her.
You got a present for him? Even though you just met him?
Uh-oh. I was right to doubt myself yesterday. Is that bad?
Oh no, it's fine. I mean, it's really sweet of you. I'm sure he'll love it.
Somehow her smile looks even faker than before.
Ooh. You were supposed to send us the screenshot without it being darkened. I sent that. The thing without it being darkened. I sent that in Discord. I don't know what you're talking about. I did do that. My newest chart is out and I'm proud of myself. Should I link it here or where? Feel free to link it on the Discord. I'll likely check it out after stream. But this stream, again, dedicated to DDLC today. So we're having the fun. We're having big fun. By the way, to anyone who just joined, like Game and Med, this mod is very, very dark. We played 2 mods that were made by the same author already, but both of those were pretty short and light-hearted. This one is a legit mod with a dark story, and it will take multiple streams to get through it. So it's gonna be a little bit different despite it being the same author, but I think we're gonna be having fun with it anyway.
My confidence is gone. I think I'll go read my book now. I find a seat and open up my new copy of Portrait of Markov in front of me. But I can't focus on the book. All I can think of is how much more difficult this is going to be. Should I just not give Code the book after all? No, now that I've mentioned it to Sayori, it might seem weirder to not give it to him. I will have to be very careful about how I present it. I pulled up to it slowly, so it seems normal. I'm still planning out what I'll say when Code enters the club room. After Monica greets him, I nervously approach to attempt to start a conversation. Thanks for keeping your promise, Code. I hope this isn't too overwhelming of a commitment for you, making you dive headfirst into literature when you're not accustomed to it.
Oh, come on, like he deserves any slack.
Everything I plan to say goes out of my head in an instant. Natsuki carries on berating Code. I can't even focus on what she's saying because I'm feeling too frustrated with her.
I was as broken as my heart. Haha, kill me. Ah. No heartbreak story here. It's already... The game has already stabbed me in the heart multiple times with the kind of image it's presenting of me and stuff. We are seeing this all from Yuri's head, and she's like... She's imagining us as a kind of loner with no friends, and that kind of hurts. Because I have a feeling that is how people view me sometimes. And I did have friends in school. And I do still have some amount of contact with them sometimes. So I'm not entirely a loner, okay?
Why does she have to be so rude and immature? I'm trying to say something important here. I can't even avoid her like I usually do. All I can do is wait for her to finish.
Manga is literature!
Finally, she takes a seat, where she sits fuming. I guess she's done now. I've never been so infuriated by Natsuki's love of manga as in this moment. It makes me dread our upcoming poem sharing more than I already did. But I try to put that from my mind since the conversation is continuing.
Here's me with busy work without me even asking. Like cooking, cleaning my room.
Sayori and Code are such good friends. I guess going to each other's homes to help out is something that normal people do. How dependable.
Sayori, that's because your room's so messy it's distracting. And you almost set your house on fire once.
Is that so?
And they've had adventures together. For some reason, I feel the return of that hurtful thought I had yesterday. You two are really good friends, aren't you? I might be a little jealous.
How come you and Code can be good friends too?
We can? It sounds like a wonderful fantasy, too good to be true. I had never seriously considered that as an option, but I find myself imagining it again. Having a friend for the first time. Not just any friend. Code, someone who likes horror books and who cooks and cleans.
I like how she latched onto that. We said, I read a horror book once. Her mind, he likes horror books. Perfect. Very good. That is how we do this, right?
Oh, Yuri even brought you something today, you know?
What? Oh, wait, Sayori? No, it's too soon. I'm not ready.
Huh? Me?
Code is looking at me expectantly. I'm frozen in panic. This isn't how I wanted it to go. Not really.
Don't be shy.
It's really nothing.
What is it?
Never mind. Yuri made it sound like a big deal when it's really not. My anxiety is climbing rapidly.
I only have 1 day left on my sub. It's about to expire. Well, that happens. Make good use of it while you still have the emotes and everything. It do be sad when the sub expires. Which reminds me, again, I need to figure out that I need to make sure that subbing is something that works out for me in the future. Because again, so far I only really ever use Prime subs. Because for some reason, the one time I tried to sub using an actual paid sub, PayPal was like, yeah, we cannot complete that transaction right now. Please try a different payment method. And I was like, okay, guess I'll try another time. And that was a very recent event. Will do, there they are. Damn. The dong. Can we just talk about how much people appreciate the Zhong Dong emote? It do be fun. The thing is, the person who suggested that I make that emote actually isn't really around in chat much. They were on our Discord server, but they left at some point due to, you know, drama in the community. And so they decided to leave the group and take the drama with them. Didn't even ban them, they left of their own accord. But yeah, that was the thing that happened.
My anxiety is climbing rapidly. Should I forget about giving him the gift? What do I do?
I'm sorry, Yuri, I wasn't thinking.
Code gazes at me with a kind, gentle expression.
Hey, don't worry about it. First of all, I wasn't expecting anything in the first place. So any nice gesture from you is a pleasant surprise. It'll make me happy no matter what.
Is that so?
Yeah, it does suck. They were part of a FNF mod team. And that mod team ended up having a lot of beef. Specifically with him. And every time he said something on Discord, it was only a matter of time before it would escalate into an argument between him and the rest of the former dev team. And I was actually getting tired of intervening in that kind of stuff. And eventually I just said, guys, if you can't interact in peace, don't interact. That also didn't work out, so eventually he decided to just leave. Which again, I am not picking any sides here. I think both sides kind of went a little bit off the handle there. It was kind of... Did stream crash? It shouldn't have. No, it's looking fine on my end. No, it's looking fine on my end. Did you maybe try to refresh? Well, then again, if I say this, you won't be able to hear it anyway. But no, for me, stream is still going. Again, I'm looking over. I see your text message in the extra window I have the stream open in. Hello? I'll just quickly write in chat for you. Oh, it's good now. It's good now. Okay. I was checking. I didn't see anything on my end. I didn't see any problems on my end. So it might be your internet that's causing an issue, maybe potentially. Because again, otherwise I probably would have seen seen something happen. Oh well.
Is that so?
Yeah, I won't make it a big deal if you don't want it to be.
Won't be a big deal. It will be okay. It will be normal. That reassures me a bit, but my anxiety is still quite high. All right. Well, here. I pulled my old battered copy of Portrait of Markov out of my bag. I didn't want you to feel left out.
Sid, hi! Thanks for the raid. I already kind of asked Game, but I hope you had a nice stream. Game said hi for you. So, anyway, welcome to the stream. Hi, hello. Thanks so much for the raid. Welcome, raiders. Quickly to catch you up on what's happening right now. We're playing a mod of Doki Doki Literature Club. This is called Doki Doki Storm, and we're experiencing everything from Yuri's point of view. So, that sounds so weird. It was a fun stream, started doing Redstone. Redstone, that can get quite complicated if you go for something big, but simple stuff like a butt switch or like a one-tick pull, making a circuit for a one-tick pulse or something, that much should be doable. But yeah, mainly when I do Redstone, I also frequently just look up what stuff is and copy it, because it can get very complicated. But yeah, really need to get a little bit more into Redstone eventually. Figure that stuff out again.
I didn't want you to feel left out, so I picked out a book that I thought you might enjoy. It's a short read, so it should keep your attention, even if you don't usually read. And we could, the little bit of confidence I had falters. But I have to finish that sentence. Discuss it, if you want it. The storm is rising. He's probably going to hate me, like everyone else does. This might be the moment that he decides that he never wants anything to do with me again. I'm playing with my hair again. I should stop. He's looking at me. I can't even look at him as I hand him the book.
Yuri, thank you. I'll definitely read this.
He takes the book with enthusiasm. He actually looks happy.
Yes! Started playing with lightning. Ooh. I see. Again, I said this earlier, I really need to go back onto the server and start moving the rest of the allays I still have. Because I think 2 of them sold today, right? I think. And I only had 4 at the shop currently. Really need to make sure that I have more. But I'll work on that. I'll work on that when I come on next time.
My heart swells and relief washes over me. I feel like I could cry tears of happiness right now. Whew. Well, you can read it at your own pace. I look forward to hearing what you think. I think now is a good time to escape before the storm can strike again. I return to my desk and allow myself to get lost in my book.
I think 2 did sell. Yeah, because I remember while I was lurking, I did kind of out of the corner of my eye see that someone else got the achievement. So I'm guessing that means that someone else bought an alley. Unless they found it. Could also be.
Or at least as lost as I can get. Having this moment to myself does help my mental state. But my mind keeps drifting back to code. That might have been my only opportunity to have a real conversation with him. Should I have tried to continue talking to him? No, definitely not. I was far too agitated to try.
I'm gonna be lurking for a couple of seconds. You do that. I appreciate the lurk though.
In this mental state, I typically start fantasizing about things to do with my knives, and I know it's not healthy to let my mind go there. Once again, I find myself inwardly cursing myself for being like this. It's been my lifelong dream to just be normal, but right now I think I would settle for just a few minutes of normalcy with code. Time passes. I'm so preoccupied with all of this that I'm not making any headway with my book. I glance around the room. Natsuki's in the closet with a manga, as usual. Monika and Sayori are having a quiet conversation together. Code is standing at the front of the room by himself. He isn't doing anything. He didn't even join in the conversation with his friend, Sayori. He's so shy. Some part of me thinks that maybe out of all the people I've ever known, he could be someone I could talk to comfortably. Do I dare try? The thought terrifies me. Still, I find myself trying to work up the courage to say something. My voice barely comes out as a croak, but it gets his attention. Our eyes meet. I freeze. My voice completely dies in my throat. Panic overtakes me. I raise my book to hide my face behind it. I'm messing this up. I'm so stupid. Oh, why can't I do something? Why can't I do a simple thing like say a few words?
Sorry, I was just spacing out.
He actually came over to talk to me. Oh, it's fine. He said he was spacing out, maybe like the way I do. I smiled inwardly at the thought. If I was focused, then I probably wouldn't have noticed in the first place. But I'm just rereading a bit of this, so...
That's the book you gave to me, right?
Mm-hmm. It suddenly occurs to me that it was foolish to bring both copies of the book. It makes it more obvious that I purchased the book just for him. Why didn't I think of that sooner? I wanted to reread some of it, not for any particular reason.
Just curious, how come you have 2 copies of the same book?
Well, when I stopped at the bookstore yesterday... no, why did I say that? That's not what I meant. I mean, I just happened to buy 2 of them.
Ah, I see.
I've ruined it. It has to be obvious that what I did now. He's giving me a strange calculating look, probably trying to think of an excuse to leave.
I'll definitely start reading it soon.
Maybe I can still salvage some small portion of this.
Lurks cutely. You can lurk whichever way you want, but if you want to lurk cutely, that too is appreciated. Wanna try making my own emotes once I reveal my new model? By all means, go for it, go for it. That's what I did for my emotes too, which is why some of them are pretty but at least the Zhongdong emote is well liked. I think the fireworks turned out decently. The raid one was pretty basic. I just decided I need some kind of raid emote, so I threw that one together. Probably could have done a better one, or I could eventually maybe commission someone to do proper emotes. But right now I like the fact that I'm doing all of the stuff on my channel myself, without any outside help. Well then again, I do have outside help. All of you people in chat who are watching and maybe even supporting me via subscriptions and bits and everything, you are all the support I need. Seriously.
I'm glad to hear. Once it starts to pick up, you might have a hard time putting it down. It's a very engaging and relatable story.
Is that so? What's it about anyway?
He's not leaving. Well, I close the book and pretend to look over the blurb on the back. Obviously, I already know the answer to his question without looking, but I need this moment to try to calm myself. Alright, I just wanted to make sure I don't accidentally give anything away. Basically, it's about this girl in high school who moves in with her long-lost younger sister, but as soon as she does so, her life gets really strange. She gets targeted by these people who escaped from a human experiment prison.
Bones, hi! Welcome to the stream! Welcome to the stream, how are you doing? Hope you're doing well. Also, Matt is dying that he's not good. Yeah, it is Doki Doki. It is Doki Doki. We're playing Doki Doki Storm, specifically. I've played 2 other mods created by this author. Both those were short, comedy-focused mods. This one is supposed to be incredibly dark. Maybe darker than the original game, I doubt it, but it could be. So this is a very fun experience, hopefully. We'll see. And yeah, we're playing from Yuri's point of view. He said no spoilers, so I will say nothing. Have fun. I will have fun. I will have fun. Will be lurky. I appreciate the lurk. Life gets strange, huh? No, it's not Life is Strange. Would be fun though, huh?
She gets targeted by these people who escaped from a human experiment prison, and while her life is in danger, she needs to desperately choose who to trust.
Also, by the way, I was wondering about that earlier, but it seems like the main character is going for the Yuri route, which makes sense. We're playing as Yuri, so it would make sense that he's going for the Yuri route. But I thought it would be possible that maybe it would be a sad story where we have to watch the main character fall in love with someone other than us. So, But he is going for Yuri, interestingly enough. That is good to know, good to know. And another thing that I am now curious about. Also, Bones, thank you as well for the follow. It's appreciated. Another thing I'm curious about is I just want to finish this train of thought real quick before I lose it. Before I lose my train of thought here. I am curious about whether or not this will be... if this will include all acts, or if it will just be Act 1. Will it just be Act 1, or will there be more to it? We'll see when we get there. For now, we'll just appreciate that we have some quote-unquote normalcy.
While her life is in danger, she needs to desperately choose who to trust. No matter what she does, she ends up destroying most of her relationships and her life starts to fall apart.
That's kind of...
He trails off. He seems uncertain what to say. I remember that he did say that he's only ever read one horror book before, so maybe he's as unused to talking about as I am. I can't help giggling at how much we seem to have in common. Are you not a fan of that sort of thing, Code?
Not following? Clinic, thank you for the follow, thank you! You didn't have to, but it's appreciated. But, so you're assuming you followed already, huh? Well, I guess now you are following. And again, thank you so much for the follow, I do appreciate it. But wait a moment, I just noticed, yeah, you had the... you were given a gift sub? Oh, that must be so weird. Like, being a sub to someone you ain't even following. Well, now you are both subbed and following, so now everything's fine. But thank you so much, I appreciate that. You're following? Wow. Wow, imagine.
You're not a fan of that sort of thing, Code?
No, it's not that. I mean, I can definitely enjoy those kinds of stories, so don't worry.
I hope so. It's just that those kinds of stories, they challenge you to look at life from a strange new perspective. When horrible things happen, not just because someone wants to be evil, but because they have their own goals or their own philosophy that they believe in. Then suddenly, when you thought related to the protagonist, they're made out to be the naive one for letting their one-sided morals interfere with the villain's plans. I think I see his eyes glazing over. I'm rambling, aren't I? Not again. I'm sorry.
Hey, don't apologize. I haven't lost interest or anything.
Well, I guess it's alright then. He's so patient and kind and understanding.
I mean, if there's one thing I can do, I guess it's listen. Because I am not the most talkative person, sadly. Which I know it's weird. Hey, how come you are a streamer if you're not the most talkative person? When I'm streaming, it's a different story, okay? It's a different story when I'm sitting in front of a computer screen. Very different. Tell you how you die in the Hunger Games. Shut up, Sid. Code will become my new favorite. Oh, imagine. Imagine. First day of following, hey, you know what might be my new favorite. Watch out, Sid. Damn.
Maybe he'll be forgiving of my unusual traits, but I feel like I should let you know that I have this problem. When I let things like books and writing for my thoughts, I kind of forget to pay attention to other people. So I'm sorry if I end up saying something strange. And please stop me if I start talking too much.
Oh no. Oh, the threats in chat. Oh no. I really don't think you need to worry. That just means you're passionate about reading. The least I can do is listen. It's a literature club after all.
That's true.
In fact, I might as well get started reading it, right?
Huh? Right now? You don't have to.
What are you saying? Just a moment ago you said you were looking forward to it. Let me just get the book.
He takes the old copy of the book out of his bag.
Alright, it's fine if I sit here, right?
Without waiting for my answer, he sits down in the seat to the right of mine. My feelings of apprehension skyrocket. What's happening? Yeah.
Are you sure? You seem a little apprehensive.
I'm sorry. It's not that I don't want you to. It's just something I'm not very used to. That is, reading in company with someone.
I see. Oh, just tell me if I end up distracting you or anything.
There's no possible way I would be able to focus on my book with him sitting so close to me. Alright. He opens his book in front of him, and I do the same with mine. We sit like that for a time. I can't help but look over at his copy, at my old copy of the book. I still feel bad that I gave it up. I hope he treats it well. I wonder if he would be open to trading them. But that might sound like a weird thing to ask. I don't dare bring it up. Suddenly he glances over at me and our eyes meet. He saw that I was staring at him. Sorry, I was just...
You really apologize a lot, don't you?
I do. I don't really mean to. Sorry. I mean, stupid.
Oh no, she's turning into Leon. Stupid. Just kidding, Code is great. I should not be anyone's favorite. I appreciate it if people like me, but favorite is a big word, okay? I feel very undeserving of that kind of description. I do appreciate it still.
He's laughing at me.
Here, this should work, right?
He gets up. That's it. I finally scared him away. But no, he moves his desk and chair closer until they're touching mine and then sits back down. He then places his open copy of the book between us. My heart feels like it's in my throat. It's beating so hard. I suppose so. I guess we're both going to be reading from his copy then. With shaking hands, I close my own book, my new book, and put it away.
I guess that makes it kind of difficult to turn the page.
Here. I take the left side of the book in my left hand. He does the same with the right side in his right hand. We start reading together like this. Our bodies are so close together, they're almost touching. This is very surreal for me on many levels. I've never read with someone before. I've never been so close to someone before. And something about the fact that we're reading from my old copy of the book makes me feel like I'm sharing an old friend with him. It is by far the most intimacy I've ever experienced with another human being. It's an exhilarating feeling. It makes it hard to focus on the book. Not that that matters, since I already know the whole book by heart, more or less. But I should probably at least make a show of pretending to read it. Are you ready?
Huh?
To turn the page.
Ah, sorry. I think I got a bit distracted for a second.
Our eyes meet again. He looks nervous. Am I just projecting my own feelings onto him? Is he scared about what's going to happen in the book? I wonder if his heart is beating as fast as mine. That's okay. You're not as used to reading, right? I don't mind being patient if it takes you a little bit longer. It's probably the least I can do, since you've been so patient with me.
Yeah, thanks.
Time passes, I still can't focus on reading. I stop trying to speak, I just let him turn the page whenever he's ready. Each time he turns the page, he brings it over to my side so I can hold it with my hand. I spend our time watching his hand, watching the delicate movements of his finger over the page.
Okay then, kind of weird, but sure, you do you, Yuri. Also, hello, Rob. You're being sneaky, but now you have resurfaced in chat. Hello, again.
There's something sensual about it. It's strangely calming, mesmerizing even. My heart rate slows and I'm able to relax and enjoy my time with him. Somehow I never quite touch his hand when he turns the page. I wonder what it would be like to touch him.
Hey Yuri? This might be a silly thought, but the main character kind of reminds me of you a little bit.
What? My heart rate picks up again. I have to remind myself that we're still on chapter 1 and we haven't gotten to the darker parts of her story yet. You think so? How does she?
Well, I guess she's more blunt in a lot of ways. But she also second guesses all of the things that she says and does. Like she's afraid she'll do something wrong. It's not like I can see into your head or anything, but they're kind of reminiscent of some of your mannerisms.
I see. I consider this. It's true that I identify with her. In fact, sometimes, for fun, I write short stories from her perspective. But this sounds like he sees me as blundering and foolish. He must really dislike me after all. I thought we were having a good time, the best time I've ever had. I should have known he wasn't enjoying it. I feel ashamed and guilty to have gotten so much enjoyment at his expense. I feel myself spiraling into
despair. Sorry.
I feel myself spiraling into despair. He's not going to want to read with me again like this, is he? What, code? That's probably a terrible thing to have in common with her. That's so embarrassing that you think that. I shouldn't be saying this. I know I should. I'm just making things worse.
Wait. I didn't mean it in a bad way or anything. Sorry, I really didn't know you were self-conscious about that sort of thing. I guess I more meant that it's kind of cute.
Cute? That makes no sense. I'm not cute. Nothing about me is cute. What are you saying all of a sudden?
Kazumu! Thank you for the raid! Welcome! How was your stream? What were you doing? What were you up to? I hope you were having a fun time. And thank you so much for the raid! Like seriously, I appreciate it. That's the second raid today. Actually, let me just quickly. My throat is... Reading a visual novel kind of takes down your throat a little bit. But welcome raiders! I guess I should fill everyone in again. We're playing a mod of Doki Doki Literature Club. This mod is called Doki Doki Storm, and it's told from Yuri's point of view. I would strongly recommend people to be aware of original Doki Doki before going into the mod, but it is kind of retreading some of the same paths just from a different perspective. But this mod, and the game in general, is gonna be very dark, so be prepared. There were some content warnings, like this depiction of self-harm and stuff, so just be warned to anyone coming in right now. Fun is, strong word. Elden Ring pain? Oh, I see. Well, I hope you found some amount of fun in the suffering anyway. Any of this, so I will head out, but have fun. Again, no problem, but thank you so much for the raid. I do appreciate it, and yeah, thanks for checking in, even if just for a short second. Chaotic is the perfect word? Probably right. So yeah, thank you. Alright. Now then, I will not try to keep the newcomers waiting. I will instead progress with reading. So yeah, also Kazumi, thank you as well for the follow. I do appreciate that a lot as well.
What are you saying all of a sudden?
Okay, everyone. I think it's about time we share today's poems with each other. We might not have enough time if we wait too long.
Oh.
Is that alright, Yuri? You look kind of down. I'm sorry if you haven't been looking forward to this.
I haven't, but that's not the reason I'm feeling down. It's not... it's fine. I almost put the book into my bag, but then I remember that it belongs to Code now. I'll let go of it, unable to look at it.
Alright. I guess I'll do some more reading tonight. Or would you prefer if I only read it with you?
I think I would like to read with him every day forever. I guess I don't have too much of a preference either way.
In that case, I'll read a little more tonight. It'll be more fun to read with you after it picks up a bit, you know?
That's good reasoning. In that case, feel free to finish the first 2 chapters in your own time.
Alright.
I watch him put the book into his bag.
Going to get food, so lurk. Thanks for the lurk, Sid, and have a tasty meal.
I'm very confused right now. He sounds like he wants to read with me again. Is it because he feels bad for me? Is he doing it out of pity? But no, he said reading with me would be fun. Does that mean he enjoyed it? I can't imagine that he enjoyed it as much as I did. Could I be overthinking this? I don't know how to stop thinking. I wish I did. Maybe I really should be taking what he says at face value. But that would suggest that he thinks I'm cute. How unthinkable. Suddenly my thoughts are interrupted when a piece of paper enters my field of vision.
Ah, lurk cutely. And again, thanks for the cute lurk, Matt. Not chatting now because I'm playing a game, that is very fair. Still always here as you are. Plus, hey, if you don't chat as much, that means we will be getting through more of the game in less time. Maybe you will enjoy it if the stream you're watching in the background is more focused on the game. Because after all, I do know you like your DDLC.
Code is offering me his poem. I'm at least good at reading and writing, so maybe this will be my one chance to show that I don't always look foolish. As I read through his poem, I become increasingly surprised at how good it is.
Party in Code stream! Welcome to the party, Yoshi! Let's get 4 more raids! I think 2 raids is already good for one day. But hey, I wouldn't complain, but I am thankful I was thankful just for 1 raid. Now 2, on the other hand, that is getting out of hand. But yeah, the party is here. Also, hi. I think that's the first time you chatted today. Alright. Can't have you go too fast? Wow. Why can't you have me go too fast? Would that be a bad thing? Would it be a bad thing if I made too much progress? I doubt it. So how is your nearly 1 AM? It do be nice. I am enjoying it because I'm playing DDLC. So, you know.
Well, actually the structure is a little choppy, but besides that, the imagery is highly evocative, and he demonstrates an impressive vocabulary. There's just one word I can think of to describe it. Exceptional.
Quick, let me go live so I can rate. No obligation here, please. Technically, you can host. Hosting is also an option. You don't have to go live for that one, but no pressuring here. No pressuring on my end. Anyway, as many DLC streams as I can get, that is very fair. By the way, I just remembered something. Not only do I still have that 1 poem on my to-do list that I got told to write, I think by Medic, Average Medic main, I think. But now that I'm playing DDLC again, that means I have to write another poem for each and every DDLC stream I do. Damn, I really gotta get back into the swing of things. This is gonna mean more poetry. Not sure if I still got it. I mean, the last poem I wrote was... I don't want to talk about that. Really don't want to talk about it. That topic was a topic that I'm not sure I felt comfortable writing about that. auto-host. That is also... I think you're on my auto-host list too. I haven't worked on my auto-host list in a while, and since I last worked on that, I think I found a few other streamers. I should probably add them to the list as well, just to play it safe. So yeah.
Exceptional.
Huh? What was that?
Did I say that out loud? I dropped the poem to bring my hands up to my mouth. So much for not looking foolish.
What are you doing, Matt?
Did this.
Yeah, I did Snowgrave. I think I did it on stream as well. I did it on stream. So yeah. Well, that was something. Matt, that was something.
I'm so embarrassed I end up covering my whole face looking away from him. I'm messing this up all over again. The one thing I could have been good at, and I'm ruining it.
Having a bit of a stroke, are we? That sounded a bit like it. Yeah, Matt was having a bit of a stroke with text-to-speech. It happens. Happens to the best of us.
He's going to hate me.
You really didn't do anything wrong, Yuri.
I didn't. I guess you're right. What am I getting so nervous for? I use my nervous laughter to cover my ragged breathing until I can get it under control. I have to regain my focus. I have to show I can speak intelligently about this. I take a deep breath. So, what kind of writing experience do you have? Your use of imagery and metaphors indicates you've written a lot of poetry before.
You know, being good at writing and having a lot of writing experience doesn't really mean the same thing. Because by now I have a bit of writing experience because of the poems I've written so far. And I still wouldn't say I'm any good at it. But I do try. A little bit, sometimes. If it's not a request purely for the memes. If it's a request purely for the memes, then I just try to, you know, get it done. Really? Wow, that's a huge compliment coming from you. This is actually my first time, really.
Huh? I was not expecting that at all. I look from him back to the poem again. This is his first time. Could he just be a natural at this? Could he even be some kind of prodigy? I suddenly find him very intimidating, because not only is he wonderful at everything else, he may be better than me at the only thing I'm good at. Still, I feel the need to prove that I'm worth something. Well, I know that. I just meant, I trail off. Any criticism I can think of is going to sound pretty weak. But the structure seems like a good place to start. Yeah, okay. This is the reason I was able to tell. It's just that there are specific writing habits that are usually typical of new writers, and having been through that myself, I kind of learned to pick up on them. I think the most noticeable thing I recognize is that in new writers is that they try to make their style very deliberate. In other words, they tend to pick a writing style separate from the topic matter, and they form fit the two together. The end result is that both the style and expressiveness are weakened. Of course, that's not something you can be blamed for. There are so many different skills and techniques that go into writing even a simple poem. Not just finding them and building them, but getting them to work together is probably the most challenging part. It might take you some time, but it all comes with practice and learning by example and trying new things. I hate the way I sound. I'm really reaching, grasping at anything I can, and I'm being so vague. I don't know if any of this is constructive. I hope I at least sound a little confident, but I think I may be going too far. I know that no one likes it when I act like a know-it-all. I also hope that everyone else in the club gives you valuable feedback. Natsuki can be a little bit biased though.
Biased? How?
I'm tempted to talk about how simple and immature and rude she is. Well, never mind. I shouldn't be talking about people like that. Sorry.
It's fine. Do you mind if I read your poem now?
Please do. I'd love to share my thought process behind it. I pulled my poem out of the bag and handed it to him. When I first wrote it, I was feeling pretty good, but I'm feeling a lot less confident now. Will it be enough to impress him? I nervously watch him read it. How much time has passed? It feels like a long time. The longer he spends reading it, the more anxious I feel about his reaction. Finally, he hands it back to me. I am having trouble reading his expression. I am sorry I have such terrible handwriting.
What? I wasn't thinking that at all.
But it took you a long time to read.
Well, I just don't read script very often. I actually think your handwriting is pretty.
I feel a fluttering sensation inside me. Huh? That's a relief.
Also, I like the poem. Even though it's short, it was really descriptive.
It wasn't too short. I usually write longer poems.
Not at all.
I feel little knots are untying themselves in my stomach. I didn't realize how much tension I was holding there. I'm really glad you liked it. I'll be honest, since it's our first time sharing, I wanted to write something a little more mild. Something that's easy to digest, I suppose.
Are you into ghosts, Yuri?
Huh? Oh, right, the title. He really didn't understand the poem at all then. It makes him a lot less intimidating. Actually, the story isn't about a ghost at all, Code.
Really? I must have totally missed the point.
Well, I suppose he did only glance over it after all. I hope he doesn't notice that I just contradicted myself. But remember that poets often express their own thoughts, feelings, and experiences in their work. They usually do more than tell a simple story or paint a picture. In this case, perhaps the subject of the poem is only symbolically compared to a ghost, lingering in a last remaining place of comfort, unable to let go of the past, and soon to be left with nothing.
That's a lot more solemn putting it that way. I hadn't even thought of that. That's impressive.
Huh? It's nothing really. Yours was impressive too, so...
Nah. If anything, I could probably learn a thing or two from you.
You think so?
Yeah, of course.
Impressive. He thinks I'm impressive. I impressed him. You know, I was really nervous about doing all this. But in the end, I enjoyed it. I'm going to keep doing my best for you, Code.
Ah, me too.
I'm still feeling breathless as he moves on to show his poem to Natsuki. Sayori seems to go safe to go to next. She was pleasant earlier.
Hey, Yuri, having fun?
After my dizzying experience with Code, fun doesn't seem like the right word, but... Yes, thank you. And yourself?
Yeah, I love that we're finally sharing with each other. Sometimes it feels like we keep to ourselves too much in here. Monica has the best ideas.
I can't help glancing at Code again as I nod in agreement.
Do you want to read my poem now?
Certainly. The title is Dear Sunshine. It's a very simplistic poem about sunshine in the morning. It's very literal. There don't seem to be any metaphors in it at all. Still, I should say something nice about it. It's a good start. The sun is a good focal point for the theme of your poem. It's the source of all life in the world, after all, and something that everyone can identify with.
Blushing? Blushing? Why blushing? Tell me why. Tell me why.
But don't be afraid to add more metaphors to your work. Let your mind walk through your feelings and write down the words that come to you. In particular, this last line, I want breakfast, is a very mundane line to end with.
But breakfast is awesome.
Well, I suppose so.
Oh no, Ivanov took over your account. Oh no, it's happening. The hostile takeover. Soon the entirety of chat will look like that.
Well, I suppose so. In any case, with this practice, it can only mean your next work will be better. I would look forward to seeing how you improve if you ever wish to share again.
Thanks, Yuri, that's really sweet of you. Can I see yours now?
Very well. As she looks over my poem, her eyes light up in intense interest.
This is really good, Yuri. The ghost sure sounds spooky.
I sigh. Sayori isn't at all as sophisticated as I expected.
Oh no, no! Rob too! It's happening! How could this be?
I wonder if it's worth even trying to explain that the ghost is a metaphor. I also can't help wondering why she's vice president instead of myself, even though I'm not sure how well I would fit into that role. It isn't intended to be spooky. It's about wanting to stay in the comfort of the past while being pushed forward into the future.
Oh, that's so deep. I love it. Thanks for sharing, Yuri.
I smile graciously in response. It's time to move on. I hope somebody here understands my metaphors. It almost makes me wonder if I should reconsider my choice of style. Monica approaches me next.
How are you holding up, Yuri? You surviving okay?
I allow myself a low chuckle. I'm doing alright. I admit that I was reluctant at first, but it's getting easier.
Glad to hear it. Let's get started then, shall we?
Monica hands me her poem, entitled Hole in Wall. It's about... I'm not even sure what it's about. It feels like it's full of dark, hidden meanings beyond my comprehension. Monica gazes at me with a gentle, curious expression.
What are your thoughts on it?
Your use of metaphors to convey emotions is most impressive. If I had to guess, it sounds like you had some kind of blinding realization or feeling trapped. Monica raises an eyebrow.
Very astute. Yes, you could say I had an epiphany recently. It's been influencing my work.
Ah, epiphany. The word that became the title of the hardest song in Doki Doki Takeover in FNF. I remember how proud I felt when I finally beat that song in FNF. I felt so proud of myself. And then I decided to cover it badly. It's spreading, help! Oh no! Oh no! Game, it's gotten to game 2, how could this be? Epiphany is easy. It wasn't easy when I first played it. By now I can beat it. Like, sometimes I fail because I mess up like an idiot, but normally I can beat it on my first try if I sit down for it. Though I do still avoid pressing a lot of buttons towards the ending part of it.
Interesting. May I ask, what is the nature of your epiphany?
So, Yuri, don't take this the wrong way, but it's not really something I want to share right now.
For some reason, she glances in Code's direction when she says this. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to impose.
It's alright. It's just something I have to deal with my own way, so don't worry about it.
She gives me a friendly smile.
Can I see your poem now?
Oh, of course. As she's reading my poem, I find myself wondering what could possibly make Monica feel trapped. She's intelligent, beautiful, and popular. Surely there's nothing holding her back from attaining anything she wants.
Sadly, the laws of her reality are holding her back from obtaining what she wants.
After she finishes reading, she passes it back to me with a bemused look on her face.
Wow, you really don't like doing this, do you?
What? I'm not...
It's okay, Yuri. I just think it's funny. You wrote a poem about how you don't want to write a poem. That's pretty meta, I respect that.
Monica appreciates the meta. Of course she does. Why wouldn't Monica appreciate meta? At the ending, just don't click bad notes. Yeah, that's what you do for the entire song. I trust myself. I trust myself a lot less.
She understood it. She understood my metaphor. But now I can't help feeling embarrassed about it. I'm sorry, Monica. I didn't mean any disrespect.
It's okay, really. I know this is hard for you. But you're smart, capable, and clearly talented. You don't need to hold back so much. You don't have to be afraid to put more of yourself into your poem. The whole point of the exercise is for us to express ourselves in new and different ways. We're all in this together. We're not going to judge you.
Monica raises a fair point. Perhaps I was being silly in dreading sharing my poetry all along. It's a good reminder of why Monica is president. Her kind, patient demeanor helps me relax. That's reassuring. Thank you, Monica. I will definitely give that some thought.
Next time, I'd like to see you be a bit more daring in your writing.
Next time?
Yes, well, this is going well enough. I think I'd like to do this again for tomorrow. We can discuss that later, though. I think right now, you have one more person to share your poem with.
She gestures towards Natsuki, who is sitting at a nearby desk looking grumpy. Does she ever not look angry? I've been dreading this.
Let's go.
I had been wondering if I could just avoid her altogether, but now that Monica directly pointed her out, I can't exactly do that. I start to approach Natsuki, but can't seem to bring myself to walk right up to her. I find it much easier to just sit at the desk next to hers. I'm not sure how much of it is because of leftover feelings of frustration, or just how generally nervous I feel about her. This would be easier if she would look at me. Finally, she sighs and glances in my direction.
Let's get this over with.
She begrudgingly hands me her poem, while snatching mine out of my hand. Her gruff movements make me more uncomfortable than I already was. It doesn't help that she keeps grumbling to herself while she's reading my poem. I look over hers. The title is Eagles Can Fly, and it's a short poem about a bunch of cute animals. I smile to myself while reading it. It's even more simplistic than Sayori's was.
What's with this language?
Huh? Did you say something?
Oh, it's nothing.
She puts my poem back on my desk with a dismissive gesture.
I guess you could say it's fancy.
Thanks. That sounds a lot better than I expected from her. I should say something nice about hers, too. Yours is cute.
Cute? Do you completely miss the symbolism or something? It's clearly about the feeling of giving up. How can that be cute?
That was not the reaction I was expecting. Did I do something wrong? I know that. I just meant language, I guess. I was trying to say something nice.
You mean you have to try that hard to come up with something nice to say? Thanks, but it really didn't come out nice at all.
This is so stressful. Why can't she just be calm like everyone else? What do I do? Well, Sayori and Code accepted my offers of help. Oh, maybe I can try that here too. Well, I do have a couple suggestions.
Huh. If I was looking for suggestions, I would have asked someone who actually liked it. Which people did, by the way. Sayori liked it, and Code did too. So based on that, I'll gladly give you some suggestions of my own. First of all...
I feel particularly stung by the comment about Code. My earlier anger is returning. Excuse me. I appreciate the offer, but I've spent a long time establishing my writing style. I don't expect it to change anytime soon, unless of course I come across something particularly inspiring.
Reading takes a lot out of me over time. I am sorry.
Which I haven't yet. Natsuki's looking more and more angry, but I don't care anymore. And Code liked my poem too, you know. He even told me he was impressed by it. I hold my head up with pride at that last comment. Natsuki suddenly stands up. She looks like she's trying to tower over me, but she's so short, she only comes up to eye level with me while I'm sitting down. I still can't help feeling a little scared, though.
Oh? I didn't realize you were so invested in trying to impress our new member, Yuri.
That's not what I... You just... This is extremely uncomfortable. Why does she have to keep bringing Code into this? I summon up all my anger so I feel less afraid. I find myself standing up too. Maybe you're just jealous that Code appreciates my advice more than he appreciates yours.
Huh? And how do you know he didn't appreciate my advice more? Are you that full of yourself?
I'm a little stunned. I thought I was making a meaningless display of bravado. But it's true, isn't it? She really is jealous. Unbelievable. How can she possibly think that Code could be interested in someone like her?
And this is exactly why Yuri is on the bottom of the ranking when it comes to the Dokis.
She's so sophisticated and she's so simple and cute. No. If I was full of myself, I would deliberately go out of my way to make everything I do overly cutesy. She really hates being called cute. I hope my comment made her feel as stung as I do.
Is everything okay?
Sayori? I suddenly noticed that everyone's attention is on us, including Code's.
Well, you know what? I wasn't the one whose boobs magically grew a size bigger as soon as Code started showing up.
Time stops. They're bigger? I bring my hands up to my chest in a futile effort to hide them. I know they're larger than those of normal people. I know everyone stares at me for them, but I really thought they'd stopped growing. The storm is rising. My head fills with unbearable thoughts. Having this brought up so publicly is humiliating. That is so humiliating that I just want to disappear.
Potato. Potato? Potato.
I find myself thinking about my purple knife still in my bag, what I want to do with it. I have to fight with everything I have to suppress those thoughts. I don't want to lose control in front of so many people. I try to keep the hurt out of my voice. Natsuki?
Natsuki, that's a little...
This doesn't involve you.
I don't like fighting, guys.
DDLC be fun? It do be fun. It do be nice to see these fights from a different perspective.
I won't stop looking. Code won't stop looking. He must think really badly of me by now. Somewhere amidst the storm is the desperate hope that I can convince him not to hate me. Or at least hate me less. Code, she's just trying to make me look bad.
That's not true. She started it. If she could get over herself and learn to appreciate that simple writing is more effective, then this wouldn't be happening in the first place. What's the point in making your poems all convoluted for no reason? You mean you should jump out at the reader, not force them to have to figure it out? Help me explain that to her, Code.
Is this really still about poetry for her? She is actually trying to convince him that being simple is better. Somewhere in the roiling storm within me is the desire to try to prove myself one last time. Wait, there's a reason we have so many deep and expressive words in our language. It's the only way to convey complex feelings and meaning the most effectively. Avoiding them is not only unnecessarily limiting yourself, it's also a waste. You understand that, right, Code? It feels like it takes the last of my energy to get those words out.
Well?
He looks so uncomfortable. I feel bad about being impatient, but the storm is so bad, I feel like I'm barely in control. At this point, all I can do is wait for his response.
From my point of view, I think Natsuki started the argument. I mean, kind of. Natsuki was kind of... I'm gonna have to admit that. While I do still think Natsuki is best girl, I do have to admit she was the one who initiated this argument. She is in the wrong in this case. As much as it pains me to admit that.
To my horror, he turns to Natsuki. I sink back into my chair. I really didn't think he'd prefer Natsuki's writing over mine. His writing is so refined and elegant, and hers so not.
Yuri?
It takes a monumental effort to pull myself away from my thoughts to focus on him.
You're a seriously talented writer. It's no secret that I was impressed.
Well, that's...
But here's the thing. No matter how simple or refined someone's writing style is, they're still putting feelings into it, and it becomes something really personal. That's why Natsuki felt threatened when you said her poem was cute.
I don't understand. I didn't insult her. I didn't threaten her. If anything, she threatened me. I'm having trouble focusing right now, but I see that he really does prefer her over me after all. I see. I didn't notice that. I'm sorry. The storm takes over. It blocks out all sound. The last thing I see is Code turning back towards Natsuki again. I bend over my desk with my face in my hands, my hair hiding everyone from view. I start to cry, keeping my hands over my mouth to stifle any sound. How did everything go so wrong? How can Code like someone as hateful as Natsuki more than me? Does that mean I'm somehow worse? I must be. Was it really just Natsuki's writing that he liked, or was it something else? Maybe it was the fact that I lost my temper that drove him away from me. Maybe it's the fact that she's more reasonably sized than more reasonably sized that he likes. Words echo in my head. I wasn't the one whose boobs magically grew a size bigger as soon as Code started showing up. How does that even make any sense? Wait. Was she trying to suggest that I deliberately added padding to myself? Why would I do that? Why would anyone do that? Even by my standards, that seems like a weird thing to suggest. I wipe away my tears. There's so much in this world I don't understand.
Everything alright?
I see Code standing over me with a look of concern on his face. Monica and Sayori are also nearby, looking noticeably uncomfortable. For some reason, Natsuki doesn't seem to be in the room. It's probably the only reason he's paying any attention to me now. I'm so embarrassed. I can't believe I acted like that. You probably hate me now.
No, Yuri. How could anyone not have gotten frustrated after being treated like that? You handled it as well as anyone could. I don't think any less of you.
If he doesn't think any less of me, that probably means he didn't think much of me to begin with. I suppose I should be thankful that he's being this gracious to me. Well, alright, I believe you. Thanks, Code, you're too kind. I'm thankful to have you as part of the club now.
It's nothing.
One more thing. One thing that Natsuki said about, I would never do anything so shameful. So...
Huh? What thing did Natsuki say?
I can't bring myself to say it. I'm not even completely sure that's how Natsuki meant it. Well, never mind that. I'm sure my anxiety must be showing. I need to calm myself down. I'm going to make some tea.
Ah, good idea. Make enough for more than one person, okay?
Yeah. Going through the motions of preparing the tea helps occupy me, but does little to quell the storm. Code and I sit drinking tea together in silence as my negative thoughts surge and threaten to overwhelm me. All I can think about is that he'd rather be with Natsuki.
Now, to be fair, in my case that's true, but this version of Code here is clearly going down the Yuri route. And you're just too blind to see it, Yuri. I'm sorry.
I wonder if I should say something, but all I can do is dwell on how miserable I am. Natsuki comes back into the room. I wonder where she was. I expect Code to go greet her, but Monika steps in.
Okay, everyone. It's just about time for us to leave. How did you all feel about sharing poems? It was a lot of fun!
How can anyone talk about fun when I feel so wretched? Still, I find myself casting my mind back to early in the afternoon. I guess that earlier part was enjoyable at least. Well, I'd say it was worth it. I just want to go home. I just want to be away from people.
Okay, now Yuri's being relatable. I want to go home. I want to be away from people. This is me. This is me, sadly.
I feel somewhat relieved that it's time to leave. But that relief turns to despair when Code walks away without another word to me. He and Sayori leave together. I guess he likes her more than me too. The storm torments me all the way home. I walk with my hand in my back, gripping the handle of my knife hard. The only thing keeping me grounded enough to not completely lose control in public. Once I'm in the privacy of my room, I allow the storm to hit me full force. I want to scream, but no sound comes out. I sink to my knees, the whole world falls away. Nothing exists except the horrible thoughts inside my head. One stands out above all others. I hate my breasts.
Is that something some girls feel? Is that a thing that some girls think about, how they hate? I mean, I guess it could make sense. Maybe, I don't know. I don't know my stuff. I don't know anything about the female gender. Too little interaction.
It's so big and ugly and shameful. Everything about my body is awkward and clumsy and hideous, like some kind of human train wreck. I hate myself. I hate myself. I hate myself. I just stabbed myself in the chest.
Jesus! Also, yes, it did get darker. Oh my god, the screen is... Okay.
There's blood running down the front of my uniform.
The entire screen is getting red. And the text box is even darker. The text box is an even darker red than before. So the text box did change color a little bit more. Okay then.
Panic, 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 panic. What do I do? What do I do? What do I do? Should I pull it out? It's supposed to be bad to do that. Should I call an ambulance? No, I'd never be able to explain this. They'd see all my scars. They'd lock me away somewhere. Panic, 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 panic.
What did you come back to? Yuri just stabbed herself in the chest. That's what you came back to. Fun. fun. And panic. Yeah, what do in this case?
Okay, I have to focus. Keep breathing. I have to stop the bleeding. And knife will have to come out. The bathroom.
Okay, the wound doesn't look as big as it could be. But it still doesn't look healthy.
I feel like fainting at the sight of my reflection. But I have to focus. I can do this. I'm gasping as I pull the knife out of me. Blood starts coming out of the wound faster. I drop the knife and grab a hand towel, which I press onto my chest as hard as I can. I slowly slump to the floor against the wall. My thoughts continue racing as I sit there. Why did I do it? What was I thinking? I just plunged it straight into myself. I guess I wanted to punish my breasts for existing? What a stupid thought. What's wrong with my brain? What's wrong with me? Why did these impulses come to me? Why can't I resist them? But I can't think of that right now. I have to think of what I'm going to do. The knife wasn't in all the way. I don't think it reached my ribs. It was embedded in the tissue of my left breast, and that's mostly made of fat. I don't think I hit anything vital. The amount of blood coming out is scaring me, though. I must have hit an artery. Are there any major arteries in the breasts? My anatomy knowledge is failing me right now. I can't concentrate. I think the wound is going to need stitches. I have a sewing kit in my room, but I have never done anything like this before. Do I need special thread or not, for that? I don't even know. I think it would need to be sterilized first, at least. For that matter, I should make sure the wound is clean, too. I look under the towel, which is now covered in blood. I think the bleeding is slowing, but I can't tell for sure. I am going to have to undress to see it better. I slowly pull myself to my feet. I hastily remove my uniform. It looks like the knife went in through my bra. I think I'm going to have to take that off too.
I hope this is safe. This is safe for stream, I think. I hope. I hope. I believe. Hopefully we're fine. Then again, we've played Life is Strange 2, and if you remember, we have seen nude upper bodies on stream before, and I didn't get into any trouble for that somehow. So
I feel like crying. I don't want to look at my breasts.
Yeah, Yuri, I'm not sure stream wants to see that either. Or maybe stream desperately wants to see it.
My hands are still slippery from the blood as I reach behind myself and fumble with the clasp. When I get it open, I force myself to look away from the mirror. Then I wipe away the excess blood. I can see that the wound is smaller than I thought.
I am glad she turned away from the mirror so I wouldn't have to worry about censoring. I'm sorry to everyone who wanted to see Yuri's bare chest. Ain't happening. It ain't happening. I do apologize to anyone who was interested. Did Yuri kill someone? Hello, B-Maniac. And no, Yuri didn't kill anyone. She stabbed herself in the chesticles. Specifically her left chesticle. She has a big old stab wound in there. Because she be doing the self-harm.
When I wipe away the excess blood, I can see that the wound is smaller than I thought. The bleeding has slowed to a trickle. That's encouraging, I think, but there's only one way I can think of to clean it. I open the medicine cabinet and pull out a bottle of rubbing alcohol. I've used it on smaller cuts before, but I know this is going to sting a lot worse than usual. I start breathing faster again as I remove the cap. My hands shake as I hold the open bottle over myself. I angle myself so it will go inside the wound. I hesitate. Just do it. Get it over with. I need to do this. Just do it.
Just do it!
I pour out the alcohol. Searing pain penetrates my whole body. I drop to the floor in agony. I bite down on my hand to try to stop myself from screaming any further. I taste blood. Tears start stream down my face. I hope the neighbors didn't hear me. I lie on the floor. I can't bring myself to move.
We got artwork! Let's go! Gotta appreciate the custom CG. Let's go. Not really much to see. I'm guessing she bit the other hand?
I lie on the floor. I can't bring myself to move. All I can do is think about everything wrong with me and my ugly, ugly body. People always stare at my breasts. My classmates make fun of me for them. Every adult that I've ever met has always told me how important it is to cover them up. And it's only gotten more urgent the bigger they get. Frantic even. Even my parents, who are normally so quiet, get surprisingly vocal about it. I feel shame every time I see strangers staring at them. Probably thinking about how hideous they are. My body is all wrong. My brain is all wrong. I can't do anything right, not even the most basic things that all normal people do. I don't know how to hold a conversation or make a friend. I'm never going to have a normal life. The thought makes me cry harder. I think of every classmate at school who ever called me weird, everyone who ever laughed at me, everyone who ever made fun of me, the way I talk. I either talk too slowly or I get called a know-it-all. I'm so stupid. I can't do anything right. I remember earlier today wondering how Code could like Natsuki more than me. Now I feel stupid for not having thought of that. Of course he would like her more than me. He would like anyone more than me. I'm just too broken. I think the time I spent reading with Code today, it was the most wonderful, beautiful thing I've ever experienced. And I know it will never happen again. I start sobbing into the floor. And on top of all that, I have this disturbing habit of hurting myself, and I don't know how to stop. I want to stop, I have to stop, I need to stop. And yet, even as I'm lying here, I want to do it again. What's wrong with me? What's wrong with me?
Damn! We are getting a real in-depth look into Yuri in this. Oh my god, Yuri, you're still bleeding.
I'm so cold.
Yeah, that might be partially due to, I don't know, blood loss? Blood loss and the fact that you're lying on the floor, which I'm guessing isn't heated. Because you're lying on the cold bathroom floor, on the tiles. With that amount of blood loss, I'm guessing you'd feel cold.
I wonder how much time has passed. My parents are probably going to be home soon. The bleeding seems to have stopped, but there's a lot of blood on the floor. I wonder how much blood I would have to lose to die from it. I don't want to die, not really. I should get up. I feel a wave of dizziness as I slowly pull myself to my feet.
Probably also because of blood loss.
I'm so thirsty. I go to the sink, willing myself not to look at the mirror again. I don't want to know what I look like. I cup my hands over the faucet to fill them with water. When I bring it to my lips, it looks red and tastes bloody, but I don't care right now. My movements seem to have started a trickle of blood coming out of the wound again. I think I'd better focus on sewing it up. I'm going to need a bottle of alcohol again, but I see that its contents have spilled. There's only a little bit left at the bottom. I take it with me anyway. I take my bra as well. I know I'm going to want it when I'm done. I see my knife on the floor, too. Red with blood. Can't bring myself to touch it right now. I stagger back into my room, barely conscious of bloody handprints I'm leaving as I go. I look at my clock. My parents will be home soon. They always work late, a consequence of running their own business together. I pull up my sewing kit and set it on my bed. I'll have to sterilize the needle, surely the thread too. I have an idea. I go to my closet and pull out a box of vanilla-scented tea light candles. I've used them to mask the smell of blood in the past. I dump the whole box out on my bed and start lighting them and placing them around the room. I'm not usually very fond of sweet things, but I like the smell of vanilla.
What's all this about blood? Well, Dangan fangirl, we're playing a Doki Doki mod called Doki Doki Storm, which is told from Yuri's perspective. You know, Yuri, the girl that commits self-harm? And yeah, she was bleeding a lot right now because she subconsciously ended up stabbing herself in the chest. And she's currently very dizzy from blood loss and everything. But yeah, she's fine. The bleeding apparently slowed down, but after she got up, it seemed to have come back a little bit. But yeah, currently in the timeline, this is right after... This is the day where they first shared their poems. So this is the first poem sharing day. And she got home and was upset with herself, had a knife, and ended up stabbing herself. So that's what's going on. That's the explanation about blood.
Not usually very fond of sweet things, but I like the smell of vanilla. It's a very calming scent. I think I need that right now. I take a needle from the sewing kit and hold it over the candles to sterilize it. As I gaze into the flame, another idea strikes me. Should I cauterize the wound? I know the theory of it. Burning the edges of the wound is supposed to stop the bleeding. It would probably be faster than sewing it. But I would have to look up how to do it. No, I have to stop overthinking things. I have to focus. I'm just going to sew it like I originally planned. I thread the needle and pour the last bit of the alcohol over the thread. I sit down on my bed. I use tissues to wipe away blood around the wound. I close my eyes.
Okay, that's one way to almost commit suicide. Yup. She said it didn't reach her ribs or anything vital, but since the bleeding was very severe initially, she was worried she might have hit some kind of artery. But, yeah, we did have a scene earlier where she was lying on the ground on the cold bathroom tiles in a puddle of blood, and she just said, and the text box just said, "I feel cold." But she's fine, she's alive still. But yeah, that is one way to almost commit suicide. Definitely.
I take some deep breaths. Vanilla helps. I'm going to need steady hands for this. Inserting the needle into my skin isn't as bad as I expected. It just feels like a series of pinpricks. After all I've experienced, I hardly feel it. It's just like sewing a hole in my clothes. Each time I push the point of the needle through the edge of the wound, it feels like progress. Each time I pull the thread tight, the wound closes a little more. When I'm done, I can't help feeling pleased with how it looks. Once I put a bandage over it and put my bra back on, I feel a lot better. I think I'm going to be okay after all. Now it's time to clean up. As I stand up, I realize that I've just left a big bloody spot on my bedspread. I look down at myself and see that there's blood all over my right side from when I was lying in it. It's in my hair too. I desperately need a shower, but that will have to wait. I should start in the hall leading to the bathroom. That's what my parents will most likely see first. I get a cloth and some cleanser out of the cupboard in the bathroom and get to work. I start with the bloody handprints on the walls. It's actually quite relaxing. It's remarkably calming seeing the progress. Every time I erase another drop of blood on the floor, I feel a little bit better. I gradually wipe out every little bit of the red between my room and the bathroom. Pretty soon the hallway is looking as clean as it has ever looked. And the smell of the cleanser covers the smell of blood nicely. Now for the bathroom. The pool in the middle of the floor is going to be tougher. I look at my discarded uniform on the floor, also covered in blood. There's a hole clean through the blazer, vest and undershirt. I can't help being impressed by the sharpness of the knife, that it penetrated so many layers of clothing so easily. I get a plastic garbage bag from under the sink and throw my uniform in it. Suddenly I hear noises coming from downstairs. Panic sets in as I realize my parents are home. No, damn it, I'm not ready. Some small part of me admonishes myself for cursing, even though I didn't say it out loud. There's still a lot of blood to be cleaned up on the floor, not to mention the blood all over my body.
Isn't Yuri a yandere? Like a soft but crazy psychotic girl? Not full on yandere. She's a little bit clingy to the main character, but it's only thanks to Monika's meddling with her, like in Act 2, that she becomes a yandere, like full on. In Act 1 though, she's again slightly clingy, but I wouldn't call her a yandere. But she is obsessed with knives and she does self-harm all the time. Though usually she cuts herself on her arm rather than stabbing herself in the chest. But I guess that's a different story. That's the thing about today.
There's still a lot of blood to be cleaned up on the floor, not to mention the blood all over my body. What do I do? What do I do? I close the bathroom door. I take some deep, steadying breaths. As long as they don't come in here, I'll be fine. I'm just going to have to move a little faster. Did I close the door to my room? I can't remember. I hope so. I'm not going to go out to check now. I'll just have to hope they don't look in there. I start the water running in the bathtub. If I'm taking a bath, it gives me an excuse to be in here for a while.
Are her parents fine with her bringing knives to school? I'm not sure if they know that she's bringing them to school. I'm sure they are aware that she has a collection, because how can they not be aware that she has a collection? By the way, Dang it Fangirl, do you want to know where she keeps her knife collection in this? Because we have seen an artwork of her room in this. You want to know where her knife collection is? Because I'll tell you. It's mounted to the wall. It's mounted to the wall, nicely presented, right above her bed. Not anywhere above her bed, but right above the head end of the bed. So, if there ever was like a tiny little earthquake or something shaking the place up, and she was asleep in her bed during that time, then at least one knife is bound to hit her in the face. That much I can guarantee with that layout. But I'm sure we'll likely see it again.
I start the water running in the bathtub. If I'm taking a bath, it gives me an excuse to be in here for a while. While it's filling up, I use the towel that I'd been using earlier to soak up the blood on the floor. I alternate between wiping up blood and wringing the towel out into the sink. The fact that I have to do it more than once makes me feel increasingly alarmed about just how much blood came out of me. So much red everywhere. It's really getting to me. But with a bit of work, I am able to get the bathroom spotless again.
Did she mention anything about a toaster before this? No. Oh, isn't that a thing? Like, is that related to blood loss? How when you low on blood, you start smelling. You start to feel like you're smelling burnt toast or something. I'm not sure. I know there's something about smelling burnt toast being connected to some kind of problem. Was that connected to blood loss? But no, she didn't mention anything about that.
But with a bit of work, I'm able to get the bathroom spotless again. I then throw the towel in the back of the uniform. I'm thirsty again, which I guess makes sense considering how much fluid I lost. I just drank straight from the faucet this time. I'm beyond caring about the indignity of it. I think it's time to clean myself up.
No, that's a stroke. Then why did you mention... I knew it was some kind of medical thing. I knew it was some kind of issue where you start smelling burnt toast. Didn't exactly know which one it was, but it's a stroke. Okay, thanks for pointing that out.
I think it's time to clean myself up. Now that I think about it, a bath would feel really, really nice right now.
Oh, bathtub and my mind connected the... No. She's not suicidal. Yuri's not suicidal exactly, but she commits self-harm, but not because she intends on ending herself. In fact, she earlier stated that she's always worried, that she is kind of worried about that happening, but yeah. She's just going to countlessly cut herself with all those knives. I mean, yeah. That is how she do. She brings a different one every day and makes sure... I think that's mentioned in the original game that she says she's sure to give that every single one of her knives gets its fair share of use. Which I'm guessing means she's making sure that each one of them is used, she uses each one of them to cut herself whenever she feels like it.
I feel the water with my hand. It's pleasantly hot. I'm suddenly conscious of just how cold I'm feeling right now. As I finish undressing, I notice that even my panties have blood on them. Blood, 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 blood everywhere. How did it come to this? I try not to think about just how weird my day has gotten. I throw my underwear into the garbage bag. I am careful to keep the wound above the water. I have a feeling it would be bad if I got it wet right now. I sit back in the tub and close my eyes. I let the heat of the water saturate me. It feels cleansing, rejuvenating. I start to think that maybe, just maybe, I can make a fresh start of things. Today was quite terrible, there's no doubt about that, but I feel like I learned something important. For my whole life I've witnessed people around me forming friendships and relationships, sharing experiences with each other. And I long ago made peace with the idea of that those are just things that other people do. At best I could only experience it vicariously through the characters in my books. But what if that's not true? Are Monica and the others aware of her knives? I'm not sure. I know the main character learns about it later on in the game, where Yuri just straight up tells him she's kind of into knives. Not sure if the other characters know. But I know at this point in time the main character definitely doesn't know, because again, he just joined. Monica probably knows, let's face it, Monica knows basically everything if we're being honest. So yeah, I guess that much should be a given. But what if that's not true? My experience with code today was incredible. It was beyond description. Something I never thought I could possibly have happen in my life. And, well, it's possible that I've ruined any chances of that happening with code again. But it still served as proof that these wonderful experiences exist and that I can have them. Maybe I should stop thinking about code. Maybe I should focus more on myself. Honestly, that is probably what she needs right now. She probably needs to focus a bit on herself. Every day when I come into the club, I spend my whole time sitting alone reading my books. I don't interact with anyone. Well, except for one disastrous time, but I'd rather not think about that. I've been keeping to myself every day for months, ever since Monica formed the club. Maybe it's about time that I try reaching out to others. Maybe it's about time that I try expressing myself more. Maybe I don't have to be alone any longer. Monica and Sayori are good people. Maybe they could be good friends. There goes. God, for some reason Yuri reminds me of Maki. Probably because knives. Fair. Damn it, now I want another Danganronpa game. It's so bad that I already finished with Danganronpa S. And that was the final one, and it wasn't even a true killing game. Well, it became one towards the end. We really need more Danganronpa at some point. And I mean, the creator said he would be willing to come back to the franchise in the future. So, not all hope is lost. But for right now, I'm thinking it's gonna take a while before we're gonna get any Danganronpa related content. And as sad as that is, we're just gonna have to accept it. But then again, there's always fangans. I really need to get into some fangans once possible. There are some I started following and then I kind of fell off for some reason. I know there's Eden's Garden, which is supposedly not gonna be a series on YouTube, but rather an actual game that you can play. And if that's the case, you can bet your asses I'm gonna play that once it comes out. Maybe even Natsuki too. Well, actually, maybe not Natsuki, but Monica and Sayori for sure. My mind fills with possibilities. There are beautiful experiences out there, and I can have them. I can have them for real, not just in my imagination. I smile at the thought. The future looks bright. I open my eyes. The bathwater is tinged red. The present, however, still needs some work. I'm so exhausted, I feel like I could fall asleep right now. But I know that would be a bad idea. It's time to start moving again. After cleaning myself the best I can, I force myself to get up. I feel weak. It feels like it's taking all my strength to stay upright. I suddenly realize how hungry I am. And all things considered, it's probably really important for me to eat something to help get my strength back. After I wrap a towel around myself, I find it pleasing to watch the red water go down the drain. It feels like it's taking all my problems with it. I wipe down the tub for good measure, then check on the uniform. Mercifully, the bag is not leaked. All the blood has stayed inside. That just leaves the knife, still exactly where I dropped it earlier. The source of all my trouble tonight. After a brief moment of consideration, I pick it up, retract the blade, and place it in the garbage bag. I cautiously open the door and peer out into the hallway. It sounds like my parents are in the kitchen downstairs. It's going to look awfully strange if I go outside carrying a bag, this late in the evening. In any case, I need to go to my room first.
There we go. There we can see the knives again. You see how those knives are placed? Right above her bed. Right above where her head would be if she's sleeping. That cannot be safe. Then again, she harms herself intentionally with those knives, well, subconsciously. She doesn't want to do it, but she feels like doing it, so I guess her subconscious was like, what if I place my knives in the most dangerous spot?
As I enter my room, just looking at all the blood still to clean up makes me feel exhausted. It's on the floor, it's on my bed. Not like we can see that in this artwork. I don't think I have the energy left to deal with any of this right now. I think I'll wait until tomorrow to deal with my uniform. I set the bag on the floor. I am starving. I wonder if it's safe enough to get a snack from downstairs. I could do with some tea too. As I put on my pajamas, I consider what to do. I don't know how long my parents are going to stay up. I don't know if I can wait for them to go to bed. They typically don't pay much attention to me, but I still don't want to risk them noticing anything unusual. As I finish dressing, I put my hands on my face and sniff. I still smell blood. I wonder if I'll ever get that smell out. I've had occasion to wonder if people at school smell it on me anytime I cut myself. No one has ever said anything about it, but I can never be sure. Then again, normal people probably don't even know what blood smells like. In any case, I could probably do something to mask the smell if I'm going downstairs. I have an idea. I look in the closet. I try to keep things organized in here, but I know I'm going to have to do some digging. I finally find what I'm looking for, a bottle of perfume. It was a birthday gift from last year, or was it the year before that? I don't even remember who gave it to me. Some relative? An aunt or uncle I don't see much of. I've never really seen the point of it. It's just one of those things that girls are expected to use. Well, maybe I'll put it to use today. After a bit of fumbling, I figure out how to spray myself with it. It's a pleasant, sweet, flowery smell. Actually, something about that smell makes me feel a little energized. I feel like the last of my hesitance is going downstairs has slipped away.
By the way, we'll likely wrap the stream up after this day is finished, because I think we're getting close to the end of the day, probably.
I check my reflection one more time. I look a little pale, but otherwise fine. I think I can do this. As I enter the kitchen, my parents don't even look at me. My mom is sitting at the kitchen table reading a book. My dad is behind the kitchen counter. He looks like he's preparing a snack before bed. He's blocking the way to the kettle. I wait patiently behind for him to move. I could probably just ask him to move, but I don't trust my voice right now. Besides, it always feels strange breaking the silence in here. Eventually, he steps aside to join my mom at the table, and I start preparing my tea.
Just had to check something, sorry.
They still don't say anything to each other. I wonder if they talk to each other while they're at work. While I'm waiting for the water to boil, my eye is drawn to the loaf of bread that my dad was just cutting from. I could really do with some bread and butter. Probably not the most nourishing choice, but I think it's all I would be able to manage right now. I gaze at the bread knife. I hesitate about picking it up. This is the knife that started it all. The first one that I cut myself with. I think I hate it right now. I may never be normal, but that habit has cost me more trouble than anything else. Still, it's a useful tool, and I'm hungry. I pick up the knife and start cutting the bread. As the knife enters the bread, images come to my head of the knife entering other things. I force myself to look away as I'm cutting. I try to control my shaking hands. I look over at my parents still sitting at the table, still calmly oblivious to anything unusual happening. In some ways, it's refreshing that I don't have to try so hard to pretend to be normal here. It doesn't matter how I behave because they don't notice me anyway. But at the moment, some part of me wants to cry and scream at them. to let them know that their daughter almost died today. Sometimes I wish that I could have some kind of relationship with them. That we could talk, that I could tell them about my day at school, about a book I'm reading. That they could teach me things, like how to make friends. It wouldn't fix everything that's wrong with me, but it might make some things easier. I turn back to the counter, finish preparing my snack, and get ready to go back to my room. I hesitate. I think back to how I felt in the bathtub, about wanting a new beginning. Maybe it can start here. Maybe I can try talking to my parents for once.
It is kind of sad how she, like her home life as well, like everything, like all the Dokis in the club are kind of broken in their own way. And they barely realized about each other. I mean, Yuri realizes it about Natsuki, but... not Natsuki, about Sayori, but that's about it. She realizes something's up with Sayori, but that is all she realizes.
I turn to them. They don't look up. They don't look up. I can't do it. I turn away and hurry back to my room. Well, maybe my new beginning can start tomorrow. I close the door and take a seat at my desk. Once I've had a bite to eat, it eases the dizziness and lightheadedness I'm feeling. Perhaps I'll get started on that poem for tomorrow. As I pull out my notebook and pen, the first thought that pops into mind is to write about my cutting habit. No, that's a bad idea. That's a very, very bad idea.
Traumatized much? Yeah, I mean, come on. The fact that she views inanimate objects like her knives as her friends, because she doesn't have any. The fact that she has no interaction at all with her parents, basically. And no friends at school, no friends at all. She has absolutely no contact to anyone, really. Traumatized much, very much so. Yeah.
No, that's a bad idea. That's a very, very bad idea. Why would I even think that? I know I want a new start, but I'm not remotely ready to talk about that. Still, I think back to what Monica said to me earlier today. She said she wanted me to be more daring with my writing, and that we're all in this together. No one will judge me. I don't know how much I really believe that. I suspect that Monica might think differently if she knew the truth about me, but the more I think about it, the more I think this could be good for me. This is a habit that I really, really want to break away from, and maybe talking about it could help me with that. With that in mind, I start to write. I choose my words carefully. I don't write anything that will directly give away that I am talking about cutting myself. I end up choosing to use a raccoon for the metaphor of self-harm. It seems fitting. I finish the poem and write the title, The Raccoon, at the top. I look over it one more time to make sure no one can guess what it's really about, and if they ask, I can just speak generally and say it's about unusual habits or an unusual hobby. In any case, I'm feeling quite satisfied about it. I think it's time for bed. Oh, right. Looking at the bloodstained blanket and sheets makes me feel exhausted all over again. How bad would it be if I just don't bother changing them? Right now it feels like even just sitting here is taking too much energy. And there's still all the blood on the floor too. I really don't want to lie on bloody sheets though. I go to the closet to pick up a fresh sheet set. I just keep telling myself that it's the last thing I need to do. Everything else can wait until tomorrow. I pull the sheets and the blanket off the bed and toss them in a heap on the floor. But I'm only halfway through replacing them when I finally pass out. I wake up the next day lying on top of half-made sheets.
Yep, and that seems like a spot where I save. Seems good, right? Alright, saving is done. Like this save right here. Alright, and that is it for today. So far this mod seems incredibly well made. Like the other two mods from this author that I played were also well made, but definitely a whole different, like, had a very different feel to it. They had a very different feel to them than this one does, and I was aware of that getting into this. But honestly, seeing this mod so far, custom CG, the one that we saw, just like I'm looking forward to playing this, although I am also kind of concerned about what else we're gonna get to see. I did willingly look at this stuff. I did willingly go into this mod knowing the content warnings, but I am used to dark stuff. And if it does get darker than the original DDLC somehow, so be it. I'm prepared for this. I am very prepared for this. But for today, we're ending this visual novel here. Now, what will be the next game that I play? Honestly, I'm still thinking about that. We might play Casey's mod from Inscription. We might do that. But yeah, DDLC is taking up one of my stream slots now. And it's gonna be a journey. I already know it's gonna be a journey. In any case, what we're going to do now, if you could do me a big favor and stick around a little bit longer, we're going to raid someone. It's for your benefit as much as it is for mine, because you're getting channel points, and I don't feel like an attention hog by doing a raid that is like 2 or 3 people. So, also, I just noticed something. Who was the most recent one who followed? Who was the most recent person who followed? I need to check. Who was it? Kazumu? Was it Kazumu? Was Kazumu the most recent person who followed? I think so. Guys, because guess what? We have reached a follower count of 420! Funny number today. We reached the 420. 420 followers. We have achieved funny. And I am very glad you are here to witness it with me. And I think Kazumu is the one who pulled it off. So a big shout out to him. Now with that out of the way, let's see. No one who I've read it before is currently live, which is... sad. Let's see. Let's see if someone else is playing Doki Doki. Doki Doki Literature Club. Anyone playing that? A few people. Okay, let's raid a DDLC streamer. It makes the most sense, right? Let's see. Who do we raid? Let's see. First playthrough. Okay, if you, by the way, if any of you have a preference, that could also be a thing you can tell me about, you know? So, let's see. I wonder what they're up to. They don't have the game up currently? What are they doing? Oh, they're currently installing it. They're just starting the game. Yeah, they're just starting the game. This is perfect. This is absolutely perfect. First time playing and they're just getting started. Oh, this is absolutely perfect. Guys, let's share the love. And be sure not to spoil anything, okay? We don't want any spoilers for them. Alright, start the raid. Alright, I will see you all over there again. Thank you everyone so much for watching. Thanks to the raiders. Like the 2 different people, like Kazumu and Sid, thank you so much for the raid. Thanks to everyone who came along. Thanks to those of you who followed. Thanks to everyone who just lurked as well. All of you are very much appreciated, and I hope to see you in future streams as well. Until next time, bye! And with that, I'm ending this archive as well. Thank you for watching the archive. Be there live next time if you can be. It would be appreciated, even if you're just gonna lurk. See you around. Bye bye!